Yeah, Jordan Ward. Wow, decent. Jordan Ward got bops. Decent bops. What's good, y'all? How y'all doing? It's not okay. It's not okay. Faye Benjamin said it ain't okay. I like that. You know I like that. You know what? Funk it. They won't let me do it. How's everybody doing today, man? How's everybody doing today? What is today? Today is Monday, right? It's Monday. What's good, y'all? What's good on a Monday, man? I hope everybody's having a lovely Monday. Let's see what's going on. It's Monday. Imagine how we doing. Oh, man. Oh, I missed that pin, Lux. What was that about? We hitting the hard topics. Hope you doing well. I'm doing well, brother. I'm doing well. Shit, obviously I'm losing my voice. I've been yelling at the men's for the last 3 days. My voice gone. Might need some tea or something. I might need a little tea. But we gonna get this tea today. That's from singing. Hey man, I'm gonna tell y'all this real quick. Yesterday was crazy out here. Real quick before we get started, man. I got the if y'all go on my link tree, it's the first drop down or whatever you want to say, the first link. It's to the document. If you guys want to suggest a topic, it's up there. Suggest a prompt, it's up there. Just click it. I'm gonna have to remind people throughout the lives, obviously, because people don't know that it's there. But yeah, y'all go do that if y'all want to. If you want me to run one of your live ideas, I'm definitely interested in that, and that way we can have a little bit more fun. I think it's gonna be fun to do it. Definitely, y'all like and subscribe on the YouTubes. The YouTube's been doing real good. I appreciate everybody over there. Shout out to everybody on the YouTubes. It's been an experience, man. We've been just growing the platform. Super fun. 50K like goal. Love it. What up, y'all? What up? Shout out to the greatest mods in the business. I got the dopest subs in the business too. I ain't gonna hold y'all. My subs is dope. My subs is dope. I put my money on my subs versus anybody's subs. A 50 stack. We can run it back. Hey, what's good? What's going on with you?
Morning. Afternoon, public. Well, whatever morning, afternoon.
It's morning for me. It's morning for me.
I really like this topic, especially the second one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the second one, it all depends on why are they withholding it, if that makes sense.
What do you mean? Elaborate.
Well, if they're using it as a form of punishment, and that could create like a really bad dynamic in a relationship.
But is it abuse?
It is a form of manipulation.
It is. Not all manipulation is negative.
But I feel like it could be a form of psychological and emotional abuse, yes.
You feel like it could be abusive?
Control a partner, yes.
I guess my question to that would be, so do you think that a man has are you obligated to sleep with your man?
No, you're not obligated. No.
Yeah. So if you're
absolutely not.
Yeah. So if this your body, then you don't. Then it's, to me, it's not a form of abuse. The same way you're not out. Like if you stop cleaning up, right? Like here's what I'm saying. So let's say you was living with your man or whatever, y'all married, whatever. You've been trying to get him to participate more in cleaning up or whatever, or you're trying to get him to you feel like he doesn't respect what you do, because this happens all the time too.
Yeah, that when that in that instance, yeah, but that's not her withholding it. She's just like, oh well, I'm not even in the mood to even do this with you because, but if you doing it out of like, okay, let's say the one like the wife, she want to go on a vacation, and like it's like a $2,000-$3,000 vacation, and she like, okay, well, since you're not about to pay for my vacation, then I'm not having schmecks with you. It's two different scenarios, so that's all I'm saying. But
why would
I feel like that would be a form of psychological and emotional abuse? Yes, withholding it, and doing it out of spite and like in a evil way. Yeah, that's emotional abuse. But if she not into it and she like, you know, he doing something and he's not listening to her, he's not hearing her, it's not, you know, mutual understanding, then she not feeling it. She don't want to. But if she doing it, it's like two different ways. It's two different, you know.
It's based off intent. I think
it's the intent.
Yeah. I think my issue with that train of thought is this though. Like I was saying though, with the you know, not participating in cleaning up the house or whatever, right? So because it's the same thing. He's not entitled to your labor, right? So if he's not appreciating you and he goes, and you go, okay, then I'm just not going to clean up because you don't appreciate anything that I do anyway. That's not abusive. You are responding to abuse. And the way that you responded to it is just to check out. It's the same. It's like, it would be like taking this to like the workforce and saying, if you was like, I'm protesting because they're not paying me enough or they're disrespecting me on my job, then that could be construed as abuse. The employee can never abuse the job, right? The only way they can abuse, if they steal or something like that, whatever, but they can never abuse the job by withholding their labor. That's never going to be considered abuse under any circumstances.
I think that might be a conflation of ideas, though, because when there's a contractual obligation for an employee where they may feel they have right to the finances paid to them once they produce a product, right? And if they feel like they're not getting what they need from the skill set they provide, then they will withhold. There's an objective, but it's not necessarily malicious. It's just those two people don't agree. The entity and the employee don't agree, and the employee is not coming from a position of power. I'm assuming the withholding SMEX is in an equivalent relationship where a man and a woman have equal forms of power, and their verbal contract isn't based off rights, but it's based off trust. So if you were to trust that someone will fulfill your romantic needs, some people are physical, some people are words of affirmation, but if you know a person's needs and then you withhold that in order to get them to do something that doesn't necessarily fit, I would say like something moral, like, oh, you know what? I'm going to do this because as a form of punishment because I don't like what he did before, but that's not effectively communicated. I could think that's abuse. Or if you just feel like playing with them or starting an argument because you have some insight.
Like you worded that wrong, brother. I'm sorry.
That's crazy. But wait, we're real quick though. I think that what Suffer was saying, I think that is extremely rare to say the least. But even with that though, even then, I still don't believe it's abuse. But to your point, I think where the mix-up is that in that situation, she described it was actually a power dynamic that wasn't. Here's what I'm saying. She said that let's say she wants to go on a $3,000 vacation, and then the man goes, "Nope, I'm not going to take you." To me, that suggests that she doesn't have $3,000 to go on the vacation, right? Which suggests a power dynamic that exists where he has more. Okay, so she would be like the employee because he said it's a conflation of ideas. It's not. There is an imbalance there because he has the money, she doesn't, and if she needs to go through him to get the money, there's a power dynamic that is imbalanced there. You see what I'm saying?
So from my perspective, that would be a presupposition that there's a financial imbalance. She could be, have her own, just be financially as viable as he is, and just want to spend that time with him as well.
What does that have to do? What does that have to? But what does that have to do with her? What does that have to do with him paying $3,000 and going on a trip, brother?
The fact that you're saying you assume that she doesn't have the money and that she has to go through him.
I'm saying, wait. Here, listen to what I'm saying. Since we're making up scenarios, right? I said that first and foremost, I think that the scenario that sufferer was describing is actually very, very, very rare, right? Very rare. But even in that scenario, it would suggest that she doesn't have the money to take herself or to take them on the trip. That's why she has to go through him. So if she's trying to extract something out of him, right? And we could keep playing the what if game now, because it's like, what if he's been saying he was gonna take them on a trip? Because you got to think how extreme it is to be like, I'm not gonna sleep with you, or like to get something out of you. You know what I mean? Like, people ain't just doing that on just a whim. The vast majority of people, I'm not saying it's never happened. I'm saying the vast majority of the time, that's really almost never the case, right? So you would have to assume that it's been a problem for a while, and it's a buildup, and he's just not responding to it. And then finally she goes, okay, he ain't responding to it. Guess what? I'm out. I'm out. We not sleeping together, so on and so forth. So sufferer, what do you feel about that? Do you feel like that would still be considered abuse?
Yeah. Okay. So while she has the right to own her own body, and she can decide, goodness gracious, when she wants to engage in schmex, I feel like using schmex as a bargaining tool can really. What do you think causes?
What do you think causes more harm, or what do you think is? Here's what I'm saying. What affects my life, my material world? Schmex or money?
Schmex.
No, it doesn't. Money does. If I don't have money, I can't eat. I can't go to the doctor. I can't pay for my gym membership. I can't go to the movies. I don't have a place to live. Money affects my material world. Schmex does not. That's what I'm saying. So if you're in a relationship with a person that is financially abusive, because you can't abuse somebody through finances, because finances affect your material world. There is a real world issue that can arise from somebody withholding money from you. You withholding your schmex, which doesn't affect your material world. How can both of those things be considered abusive? It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, but you could learn to communicate openly without and your desires and needs and concerns without resorting to manipulation.
I agree.
Coercion. So
I agree.
That's what I'm saying. It leads to. I feel like it is emotional and psychological abuse. That's what I'm saying.
I disagree with the psychological. I do agree with the first part, though, that we should learn how to communicate better. Absolutely. The second part, I don't think had anything. I don't think it's relevant to what you were saying, though. But I 100% agree with the first part. You don't even know how much I agree with the first part. You couldn't even understand. I 1,000% agree with you, though. But that second part, it's not abuse, though. I'm still not seeing where the abuse is taking place, because you are.
How would you define abuse? Like, what do you consider abuse to be?
So abuse to me would be it would a part of it would be, it would have to affect your psyche. It would have to affect your psyche, right? And when I'm saying beyond the material world, right? So listen, beyond the material world, because there are different forms of abuse. Like if I physically strike you, that's physical and emotional abuse, all wrapped into one, guaranteed, right? Now you want to talk about emotional abuse. So if I'm yelling at you, if I'm lying to you, if I'm berating you, anything like that, that's all. Some of that could also be considered emotional abuse, right? Don't get me wrong, but withholding an act is, to me, not emotional or mental abuse. You see what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying. So you said that there was financial abuse because of finances, like withholding finances. I don't understand how it wouldn't be equivalent to withhold anything in a relationship where trust is across the board for both people. Like if you're sharing finances and you're not sharing actions, I think that depending on why you're not sharing either of those is what defines abuse. Like that's what defines abuse for the context in which you placed it. So
what?
If you're withholding the SMEX, right? But the reason that you're doing
it doesn't matter. Intent has nothing to do with it, and I can prove it to you, because if I'm like neglectful to my children, but it's not intentional. I just work a lot, but I'm neglecting my kids. They're still traumatized. So it doesn't matter my intent. It's still abusive. Neglect is neglect is neglect. It's still abuse, right? So you have that rule would have to apply all the way across the board for it to make sense for what you're saying. Intent doesn't matter. So if it's not abusive in this instance, then it won't be abusive in that instance. The intent doesn't matter. That's the thing about abuse. Abuse doesn't matter if you mean to abuse me or not. If I elbow you in the head accidentally or intentionally, I still elbowed you. The damage is done. Like you might, fracture my orbital bone, or you might, whatever, right? The damage is still done. And that's the trauma that we're talking about here, right? So and trauma is, that's the thing, that's the number one thing about abuse. That's the thing that whatever it has to be. But if a person withholds smecks from you, how you take that is on you. If you take that as, she owes me her body, she owes me smecks, and so I feel some type of way about it, that's on you, buddy. That's not on her or on him. Whoever's withholding the smecks, that's not on them. If you stop cleaning the house and you get, if I stop cleaning the house and you get mad at me or whatever, let's say I just clean up after myself, by the way. I'm not, as a person who normally cleans up the house, who cleans up after everybody, let's say, I'm not saying this about me, but if a person is cleaning up after everybody, their partner's not recognizing what they do, because their partner is trying to get them to help them clean up more. And they like, what do you mean? You a stay-at-home wife, you a stay-at-home mom. It's easy. They doing that type of shit. And that woman goes, okay, guess what? I'm just gonna clean up after myself. She don't even say it. She don't have to say it to him. Then she goes, I'm just gonna clean up after myself. So she just cleans up after herself. And after 2, 3, 4, 5 days, he goes, hey, where my drawers at? I don't got no clean socks. Where's the dishes? Yeah, well, I stopped cleaning up. You said it's easy. And if he takes that and goes, oh, that's abuse. No. That's how you're taking that, sir. That's how you're taking. That's on you. She didn't abuse you. She just withheld the service. That's not abusive.
Do you think that people in relationships have emotional needs that they expect from the significant other to fulfill?
You shouldn't. I don't know what emotional needs.
Right. So emotional needs such as like feeling loved. Some like the stereotypical, does this dress make me look fat? Right. Some, of course, you want to be honest with someone. But I think that what that's really asking for is words of affirmation. That's a form of a love language. That's expressing love. Some people like physical intimacy. Some people like time spent, and some people like acts of service.
Did you know that those love languages aren't, that even the doctor said they're not like real? Like, I know we still are beholden to that love language stuff, but that's not a real, and people weaponize that. And I think that it's toxic. I hate when people weaponize, like, that's my love language. I need for you to give me smecks. I told you that's my love language. It's not what it is. You don't get to hide behind that. Nobody cares about your love language. That's on you.
So how would you, I guess, as an individual, because this is a very subjective topic to some degree. How would you perceive love from you said that it was based off of how one person takes it. Like, if the psyche of the person who is affected is what defines abuse, then you already gave power to the person that is being affected. That person is what's defining the abuse. But how would you define
whether my wife? Here's what I'm saying about. Also, I'll give you another example. If my wife got sick and she couldn't have sex with me, she's not abusing me.
Of course.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. But like I said, that's how it's not abusive. You see what I'm saying?
You said if my wife couldn't because she was sick, not if she was withholding because of her
I'm telling you, listen to what I'm saying. And when I'm saying she couldn't, she could. It just, maybe she would be in pain, right? She could do it, but maybe she would be in pain. She would be uncomfortable, whatever the case may be. So she is technically withholding. It ain't like her vagina stopped working. It still works, but she just don't want to have sex. So the intent doesn't matter, because once again, to my example about neglect, if I was neglecting, if my wife being sick led to her neglecting my children, my children would still feel that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, the neglect would be there. Here's what I'm saying. If let's say I wasn't here, my wife got sick and she couldn't take care of my sons, right? Nobody knew.
and then they was going to school every day and they was showing up dirty, or they stopped going to school, or whatever the case may be, CPS would see. Let's say CPS showed up or the police showed up. You think they would go, "Oh, she's sick, let's give her a break"? No, they're gonna take them kids out the home because it don't matter. It doesn't matter that she's sick or not. It's the effect, it's the trauma that's being visited upon the children, right? So intent doesn't matter. You got to remove that from the conversation. Intent doesn't matter. What I think what you guys are conflating, though, what I'm starting to understand is I think what you guys are conflating is manipulation, right? Which manipulation definitely can be abusive.
Yeah.
But there are.
Yeah, that's what I'm agreeing to. Yeah. That's what I was trying to bring up on here. But as far as being entitled to someone's body, absolutely not. I don't feel like it don't even state that in the Bible. So as far as yeah, no.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sephra. Hold on, let Sephra finish. She wasn't done yet.
But as far as like, let's say your wife. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna talk about.
You could do it. It's all good.
Let's say a man and a wife, both of them. Let's say the woman she just doesn't want to have schmecks anymore. She just I'm not feeling up to it, or that would have to be a communication, because with that being said, it's not just, you can't just only think about yourself. Both of y'all are one, and I feel like there has to be mutual communication. And like, okay, if you're feeling like this, then why are you feeling like this? Because that other person, even though you don't want to, and yes, that person is not entitled to your body, you have to understand what would that do to the other person, and how would that person feel. And that's what I'm saying. That's where it comes in with the emotional abuse, because that person is like, oh, well, am I worth it? Oh, this person, like, let's say it's vice versa. Let's say it's switched around, and the man isn't having schmecks with his wife, and she's like, oh, well, am I ugly? Did he just not? He don't want me anymore? So that's where I'm saying it comes into that part. But as far as being entitled, absolutely not.
I think, but that's what I'm saying, though. I think it's a different discussion then, because now you're talking about the lack of communication, which I agree, I'm not saying lack of communication is abusive, but it can lead to some form of abuse if you're not, communicating with the person properly. And manipulation isn't always bad, because they would call it, like with children, they call them manipulators, right? Like, like if you're trying to get them to do stuff, they literally call it, like, whatever you're using, they'll call it a manipulator, right? Like the thing, or like the tools or whatever. It's like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think, like, if I say, I want to manipulate a person's, what's it called? Like I want to get them to change their habits. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that I'm trying to get them to do is like beneficial to them and me. Like, I want to get them to work out or something like that. And I'm like, okay, if you start working out, you get da-da-da-da-da, you're manipulating them. It's the same thing. It's not we always just think manipulation is like you're being nefarious. It doesn't always have to be a nefarious act. It could be where you're trying to actually help the person. Happens all the time. You know what I mean?
That's true, but like, you shouldn't, in a healthy relationship, that would lead to an unhealthy relationship, to where you would feel the need to use coercion, I'm not saying coercion, in order to manipulate the person and manipulate the person into doing what you want them to do, instead of doing it the healthy way, which is communicating with the person. Okay. That's what makes a healthy relationship.
I agree.
You don't have to do, if you feel like you need to do that, then you got a lot to work on.
So I wanted to say that with the workout scenario, you're talking about a form of, like, Michael Jackson was abused into success. That was a net positive for, let's say, financial gain or like societal success.
Sir, no.
Using a form of manipulation and to reach a net positive. I think when it comes to withholding SMEX in a relationship, it depends on the intent, but it could still be seen as abuse from the receiver. I'm not saying you have a right to. I don't want to conflate that the person feels like they have a right to. It's an expectation, but they know they don't have a right to, so they may feel trapped.
Brother.
What's that?
I don't know about Michael Jackson was abusing the successos, and that was crazy. But go ahead, girl dad.
Peace to you all. I really don't have a comment on the topic. I just wanted to say that intent always matters, brother. Intent will always matter. In fact, in the example that you all gave, it was all based on intent. In fact, intent matters so much that the law requires intent to be proven for the law to determine what to charge you with. Again, not related to the topic specifically, but intent always matters. So even to the scenario that you all were working with, the one thing that was excused was, okay, she wants money to go on a trip in that relationship. Why is that man not providing the money? There was an assumption that he's being abusive financially. His intent could be because we don't have the resources, and you may not be in the position to understand that, which is why I agree with the sister that said communication matters to understand the intent so that you can have a healthy relationship. But intent matters. I don't know specifically how you all are using it to make your points in this conversation.
Yeah.
But intent can never be excused from any interaction. In fact, intent is the purpose for communication. Because if you do a thing that I don't understand, I need to communicate with you to understand what was your intention so that I can properly quantify what your action really meant. Or else I'm only assuming, which is what you assigned to the man, which was an assumption that whatever the reason for him not giving the money, he's being financially abusive with no understanding of the intent, which is also a man might assign to this woman without understanding of her intent. If she's not having sex with him, that she's trying to manipulate or withhold. Intent matters, and communication is the key to understanding the intent.
I think what's going on is what I've been saying is when it comes to abuse, because that's what this conversation is about. It's about abuse. When it comes to abuse, intent doesn't matter. If you a lot of bad things have a lot of good things. A lot of good things have been done in the name of good. A lot of bad things have been done in the name of righteousness, right? So it doesn't matter if you intended to raise your child properly. You whooping them, which is abuse, is abuse. I don't care what your intent was behind it. If you were trying to make them a better human being, or you were trying to make them stronger or whatever, you still abuse them. I don't care if your intent was to make sure your child had food and a house and yada yada yada. If you weren't there for them, if you never showed up for them, right? Outside of paying for stuff, they're going to feel neglected and they're going to feel like they were abused. Your intent doesn't matter. Now, could it matter on the back end as far as like y'all reconciling y'all relationship and stuff? Absolutely. But the intent, but the impact has been felt. The impact of abuse was there. So I don't know, what are we like? I'm not in this, and even in your your analogy with the court of law, brother, you still going to jail because the impact is still there. If you accidentally like Jason Williams, we can look up the case of Jason Williams, the ex-basketball player from the Nets who unalived his chauffeur. Yeah, that was on accident. They determined it was on accident. He still went to jail. Go ahead.
I don't have a lot of time. Right?
You good?
I understand what you're saying, and you use a lot of extremes to like block out the realities of the conversation, right? The analogy with abusing your children and the intent with abusing your children, you've already established that this is abuse. I'm talking about in relationships, not even with men and women. The sister made a point about communication. When you've already established the abuse, the intent does not matter. There's no argument there. Any man that's coming up here to argue with you about that is crazy. As I stated, my point wasn't even to the comment up here. Is it okay to cheat on your woman if you're that's to me, those are conversations that don't even require like thinking, right? The answers to those things should be simple. But what I was speaking about was this idea that intent doesn't matter in the scenario that you all were using. In that, her intent doesn't matter while she's withholding smacks. His intention doesn't matter why he's withholding money. These two people are not communicating to understand one another. Their intention absolutely matter, and the necessity of communication allows two people, no matter what the relationship is. For instance, if you did something that I didn't understand why you did it, I need to understand what? Your intent before I assume that you did it to be harmful to me. So I would communicate with you. If you and I had a healthy relationship, I'd communicate with you and say, yo, public, such and such happened, bro. I didn't really understand. And I just wanted to have a conversation so you can give me some understanding. You would explain to me your intent with what you did. I would gain understanding, and you and I would continue to maintain a good relationship. That's the only point that I was making. Like, intent matters in a relationship, and that's where the communication allows you both to understand. And I'm not talking about abuse. And I know,
but we are, but we are though. Yeah,
I know that's where you're locking your conversation. I was speaking specifically to the scenario that you all were using.
Well, no, but even what you said, brother, you said intent always matters. And I'm saying that it doesn't always matter, especially when we're talking about abuse. It doesn't matter when we're talking about abuse.
So here's the thing. I'm going to exit the conversation with this understanding.
Mm-hmm.
You're not asking a question, even of the guys that come up here. There's already a presumption that this is abuse if it's done from this end, and the assumption is the intention is to be abusive, but it's not abuse in no regards from the other end. So the absolute is already stated. I get that. I wasn't making a statement to rebuttal that. Abuse is abuse regardless of your intention. In the scenario that you all were speaking about, it matters to two people to understand each other's intention, and that's what makes a healthy relationship. That's all I wanted to say. I don't have an argument with abuse.
Hold on.
I don't have an argument with the intention mattering when it comes to abuse. I have no argument to that. I just wanted to add to that context that in a relationship, two people understanding each other's intentions by communicating is what leads to a healthy relationship. That's all I wanted to add, brother. Thank you for allowing me up.
All right, bro. Appreciate you. Go ahead, Suffer.
Yeah, I did see in the comments, there is a difference between positive influence versus coercion. In a healthy communication, partners should share their thoughts, and their feelings and desires. Positive influence, I feel like it involves persuasion and compromise without pressure. So versus coercion, it's like, I feel like it's emotional manipulation. I really do. I mean, but we can agree to disagree.
But what are they trying to coerce? What are they trying to get out of you? Yeah, I'm saying, where is the coercion at? Where's the threat? That's what coercion is rooted in. Coercion is rooted in a threat. So where's the threat?
All right, well, since you did this, then I'm not gonna have sex with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the coercion. That's what I'm saying. She's saying, all right, well, since you're not gonna do this, then I'm not gonna do that. That's a form of manipulation. But
it's not coercion, though, because that's a consequence. If you don't do this, I won't do that. That's a consequence. Not all consequences are coercion. Like I said, coercion is a specific thing. That's what I'm saying. So there has to be like a threat there. Like, I'm threatening to withhold. Like, if you don't do this, I'm not gonna pay you, which hurts your material. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you,
it's withholding affection or intimacy. That's what I'm saying.
I know, but Suffer, what I'm saying is, okay, so this is what I was saying before when we were talking about money or violence, let's say, because that's another big part of coercion, right? Withholding a person's money leads to violence. Like, that is violence in and of itself. Because I don't got food, I suffer. That's violence. See what I'm saying? Withholding sex is not violent. It's not a violent act. There's no violence attached to it. So where's the coercion at? That's just the consequence to you not to you not doing the thing that I want you to do. You don't want to do the thing. You're not doing the thing I'm asking you to do. I withhold my body from you. And, I hold out because I'm not in the mood because you're not doing the thing that I want you to do.
And you feel like consequences is healthy in a relationship?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Consequences are really the only way for people to learn in a relationship.
Well, why don't you just communicate with that person instead of it leading to consequences is what I'm saying.
Suffer, you don't think that people have communicate? That's what I mean. Like, I'll speak about me. I don't want to put this on nobody else. In my relationship, my wife has communicated to me things for years, not just one time, not just 10 times. I'm saying over the span, I've been with her for 17 years. there have been things that she has been trying to get me to see and do for 5 years, 6 years, right? Certain things. If she was like, which this happened before, when I'm not doing the things she wants me to do, she shuts down. It's not like she's manipulating me. She just shuts down because she's not turned on by me. She's not attracted to me because I'm not listening to her. I'm not validating her. That is a natural consequence to a person not respecting you, right? And then if she doesn't if I don't respect her and she doesn't, and now she doesn't want to give me affection, that's not coercion. That's a consequence. That's perfectly okay. I think that's perfectly
natural, though. It's not really natural if they're doing it on purpose, though.
It is natural. If when you like a person, so are you saying, look, let me ask you a question. If you were going to give yourself to a man, do you have to like that man first or not?
Yeah.
Okay. And every single time you give yourself to a man, do you not have to like him? Or do you like, I'm pretty sure every single time you do it, you have to like him. Mm-hmm. Okay. So if you don't like him, even if that's your husband, you don't like him right now. Then that's perfectly fine and reasonable if you don't give yourself to him. Makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, in that moment, yes. But as far as what I'm talking about is doing it out of spite, doing it out of manipulation. And that we talk about too, but we can agree to disagree. That's all. But I really did enjoy this conversation though.
I appreciate it.
It didn't lead to anybody arguing and cursing each other out. Thank you.
It would never.
I'm so glad for that.
It would never. You know that. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming up. Hey, I was going to ask you if you were still there, brother. I didn't know if you were still popping. There you go, man.
But I did listen. I will have to take my leave soon as well. But,
okay.
I just want to bring up the definition of coercion. It says the definition, what she meant was, this is the practice of persuading someone to do something by using force or threats. Mm-hmm. I think that if a person were to, let's say if a woman were to openly state, if you don't do this thing, then mm-hmm. you won't get smacks, right? Regardless of her emotional integrity at the moment. If she communicated nothing else, it could be seen as coercion because it doesn't feel like a natural consequence. It feels like a planned maneuver for the purpose of persuasion.
Who cares?
Maybe considered abuse.
No, it couldn't be. And so who cares? That's my point. Who cares if she tells you up front, I'm not going to give you smacks if you don't make me happy. If you don't do the thing I want you to do, I'm not going to give you smacks.
Okay, so to answer the question, who would care? It would be the person who is being coerced.
No.
Like that's...
I'm saying who cares when it comes to if it's abuse? It doesn't explain the abuse part. Who cares? I get that. I would care, like you said, I would care as the person being affected by it, but it's still not abuse. It's like, who cares? That doesn't equate to abuse because she said, I'm not going to sleep with you because I'm not going to be attracted to you. I'm not going to like you if you don't do the thing I'm asking you to do for me. That is reasonable. That's reasonable.
It is. You added some forms of communication, like because I won't like you, right? Like that.
No. I'm saying no. Listen to what I'm saying. That is the implication, brother. She doesn't have to say that. There's a bunch of context clues in there that will point to the fact that she's not going to like you. She doesn't have to say I'm not going to like you. Of course she doesn't like you. You're not doing the things she wants you to do. You see what I'm saying? Of course she doesn't like you. It's implied. We already know she doesn't like you. If she asked you to help her with the dishes and you never help her with the dishes, she's not going to like you. If she's asking you to show up more and talk to her nicely and pay attention to her and listen to her and you're not doing that stuff, she's not going to like. She doesn't have to say, oh, I don't like you. I know she doesn't like me. I know that that's a natural consequence to me not listening to you.
So you said, you admitted that you would be the person affected, correct?
Yeah, if her withholding that, but I've already affected her. She's responding to me affecting her. Mm-hmm.
So that's a presupposition of response. What I'm presenting is that if there's no presupposition, like if there's no pretext to the reasoning behind why she does this, then it can be taken as abuse. And the reason I say that is because the person who cares, so to speak, is perceiving it as, I guess it's like a form of coercion. It doesn't feel like there's a reason for her to do this. It wouldn't feel that way. It would feel like a deliberate withholding. Because she has every right to do so. I'm not saying that she does not. I'm saying that
then it's not abuse. then it's not abuse. Because you don't.
And it's the same thing as people say, like, you know, hey, if you cheat, I'm out.
Yeah, that's coercion. Facts. According to him, that's coercion. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's not coercion. But X, you just said she has every right to do so. Therefore, it's not abuse, because who has the right to abuse a person? Think about what you're saying. You just said, yeah, she has every right to do that. Then it's not abuse. Who has the right to abuse a person? That's crazy. I don't understand that.
We're jumping over pretext, right? So, like I said, if it wasn't contextual, when you go into a verbal contract with someone that you're exclusive with that person, there is pretext that cheating is outside of that exclusive relationship. So that wouldn't be coercion. That would be the grounds of the verbal contract you went into a relationship with someone in. Well,
and so means talk to me kindly, treat me with respect, don't hit. All of those are also included in that verbal agreement.
Yep.
When we decide to go into a relationship, I'm not agreeing for you to neglect me. I'm not agreeing for you to abuse me or to talk to me crazy. I'm agreeing to be in a loving, healthy relationship. So that means, in addition to you not cheating, you also cannot talk to me crazy. You cannot belittle me. You cannot neglect me. You cannot dominate over me or be controlling. Otherwise, all of those things are going to result in the termination of the relationship. Honestly, withholding, like women not abstaining from sex, is the step before they walk out the door.
Mm-hmm.
So I can agree and attest to all those things. I think that what I'm missing is I could say I'm missing because I'm trying to just find common ground and understanding, right? I'm not trying to say anyone's wrong.
Yeah.
Is that how would one feel loved? Like if one person, you said, treat you with respect, love me, don't abuse me, these things. When you are seeking love, because the host said that doesn't matter. You shouldn't depend on your significant other.
Love doesn't have anything to do with smacks, brother. They're two completely different things. But because I feel love by my mama, and she ain't ever had smacks with me. I feel love by my children. Love has nothing to do with that. It's everything but that.
You don't feel
I want to be with a relationship.
Hold on, wait.
You know, we might get so old that we may not be able to do it, and I still want you to be just as happy and content laying next to me, holding hands.
Yeah.
While we in our old age, 90, 95, 100. Than you were when we were young. Like a marriage and a relationship that's long term, sex is not the end all be all. It's not the most important thing. All the other stuff is what makes the relationships. Sex is just a cherry on top.
Yeah.
Right. So what some women, I'm not going to speak for them, but I have heard other women, because I won't speak for women, have said, I'm withholding sex until marriage. And I believe that usually you don't just like someone when you marry them. Usually you would love someone, and that marriage is a contract between those two people, legally or spiritually, religiously, culturally, that is, we are exclusive for life.
Who says marry before you carry?
I'm sorry?
Who coined the phrase marry before you carry?
I have no idea.
So men are the ones who put that on women, right? Purity culture, men created that. Virginity, all those concepts, because virginity isn't even a real thing. But virginity, all this stuff. So if a woman says, because there is an actual threat to that woman's life, i.e. having a baby or catching an STD, which we can get into the women who are married catching STDs, and we can get into that later. But if she says, I'm not going to have schmex with the man until I'm married because I don't want the potential of getting pregnant, you don't understand that? What does that have to do with love? I don't understand. Where's the connection there?
I fully understand that. That's why I said in the context of like the marriage I was talking about, or in a relationship. When it comes to casual sex for people who aren't necessarily in love or in an agreed relationship that makes them exclusive or polyamorous, I don't think you have a right or expectation to any of those things until you exclusively state that, right? Unless that person considers it cheating to have sex outside the relationship.
You know what's funny? How you hear a man say stuff, and women, we say stuff like as people, we'll be like, I'm not doing that. That's husband material stuff. That's wifey, she'd be like, that's wifey stuff. Like, I don't cooking for him. That's what wives do. Whole time, them people is hunching. People be hunching. Love ain't got nothing to do with hunching, brother.
Do you not feel like hunching has any potential to be an expression of love?
Yeah, it can, but I'm saying, hold on. Are consequences a form of communication? Yes, they are. 94% say yes, they are. Smex could be a part, like it's an act of love. I mean, it's not really, it's a physical act, I guess. I don't know. I think it would be like what would be the love part would be, let's say she didn't really want to, I'm saying, and I wouldn't know this necessarily, but like maybe she doesn't really want to have Smex and hunch, but she's willing to do it because she loves you. You know what I mean? Like, but
so I didn't mean it in that context. Now you're stating this is an action that you can take out of the feeling of love. What I'm saying is, do you think that Smex can be an act of love? Like, I love you so much, I want to do that.
No.
Okay. All right.
I think it's more of a sign of trust. From my point of view, I don't think it's a form of love. I think it's a form of trust. A woman will do that if she trusts you, and once trust is broken, majority of the time, that's what most women don't want to do anymore and are opting out of it. Women for thousands of years have been having Smex with men that they did not love, who they hated, out of obligation because we had no other choice but to be in a marriage. Mm-hmm. So, no, it's not. That's just romance that Hollywood has sold y'all, that kissing and hunching is supposed to be when a man and a woman is in love. But that's really just fairy tale stuff. That's not reality. In reality, sex is just a physical release. It's just a physical act. And it more shows that person trusts you than anything, which is why it should be cherished, because, like, someone trusts you that much, but people take it for granted.
I can agree to that. I don't know about the Hollywood thing because I can't give credence to it. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't know the intricacies of how Hollywood has affected our view of love. But I can see.
Well, look, I wanted to say this real quick though, because I just wanted to say this. I feel like what y'all are getting hung up on is the fact that the man will be hurt ultimately from the rejection. His feelings are going to be hurt. He's going to feel some type of way about the rejection. However, that feeling isn't in itself abuse. Rejection hurts. That's just the fact of the matter, but it doesn't automatically equate to abuse. Otherwise, every single time I ever asked the boy out and he told me no, I would be, abused. But no, really, my feelings just got hurt in that moment. And that's for me to go and sit with and handle and manage effectively. But I think another problem is men don't have those skills to manage their emotions. So they tend to internalize it and act out in violent or, emotional ways. When in truth of the matter, this is just a moment that you were rejected, and you should sit down and figure out why you were rejected. Was there something, and usually in my experience, women tell the men, and usually in my experience in a relationship, men ask, why aren't we doing it? Like, why don't you want to do it no more? And women will say, I'm tired of this, I'm tired of that. Like, who's this girl you've been texting? Like, usually girls will tell men exactly why they're not doing it anymore. And then the men have the decision to either make that change or walk away. And that's another reason why it's not coercion, because, again, you have the option to leave at any moment. That option is not denied to you. You can get up and you can terminate the relationship. You can file for divorce. You have an exit. But if you choose to stay in this, choose to work it out, you have to alter your behaviors and treat the other person in a way that uplifts them, admonishes them, makes them feel respect, makes them feel cherished, makes them feel loved. And if you are unwilling to do that and you feel like it's changing you or it's manipulating, then you have an option to terminate that relationship. You don't have to make the change to be with that person. You can just let them go.
I think that's what
you can't demand both. You can't demand that they still put out and that you still get to treat them the way you've been treating them. That's not fair to the other person.
Agreed. I think you're very valid in what you're saying right now. I think the only issue I was talking about, which I presented beforehand, is that a lot of that is pretext. It's giving credence or reason as to why those actions are being taken, and then that validates the action. That's what the gentleman before was talking about when it came to intent. My intent is to change your behavior by withholding SMEX because you aren't doing this for me, and it makes me not trust you, or like trust is lost in the relationship. But I would also give credence to what you said before, where you can love someone and not trust them. So I can agree to that. If you can trust someone, or if you don't trust someone and don't have SMEX, but you love them and still care for them, I can see 100% why you would not want to have SMEX. And SMEX is not necessarily a right. It's a choice between two individuals.
Then it's not. You keep saying things that I don't think you understand how they totally negate what you're saying then. That's all like you keep saying stuff. If it's not a right, like I've been saying, bro, if you're starving your kids, they have a right to eat. You can't do that to them. That's cruel and unusual punishment. That's why it would be considered abuse, right?
So you're looking. That is an extreme separation.
This is extreme too. This is another human body. This is another person's body. This is access to another human being's body. This is just as extreme. It still deals in the body.
Yeah, I don't know.
Still dealing with the oneness. He's talking about nourishing the body. You're talking about entering the body. There's still to do with that person's body and what they desire and how they desire to be treated and who they give access to their body to. Y'all keep trying to diminish the significance of X or access to a woman, and that's not right. They're both just as important. So if that woman is I don't consider it withholding because you don't have right to it.
Yeah,
so
you don't.
Can't withhold that.
Yeah.
You don't have rights to it. But if this woman is saying, you keep talking about changing their behavior. She's not trying to change your behavior. She is trying to change the way you treat her. She's saying, hey, how you're treating me isn't acceptable. That ain't got nothing to do with your behavior. That's not her trying to change your behavior. That's her saying, hey, I don't like the way you're doing me. I don't like the way you're talking to me. I don't like the way you're treating me. You get to decide how you want to go ahead. You can change. You just talk to your girlfriend and still talk crazy to everybody else. But
go ahead, X.
So yeah, I didn't want to interrupt.
That's not changing your behavior.
If there's an action that you can take that's habitual, it's behavioral, and then if someone wants you to change that action or stop doing that action, that is a change of behavior.
It is. You want them to change their behavior towards you. That's what she's saying, though. It's not like, there's not like they're trying to get you to be like. Here's what I'm saying: if she was trying to get you to go back to college,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like that would be different. But it's like she's like, no, I don't like how you're treating me. I don't like how you're talking to me. So you need to change your behavior towards me. That's perfectly acceptable. And like I said, if it's not, if you can say in one breath, oh, I completely agree that the body isn't old and then there shouldn't be a but. I don't understand the but. There's no but. So either you're just paying lip service to what we're saying, you're not understanding what we're saying, or you're being disingenuous, which I don't think you're being disingenuous. I just think there may be I think you just don't understand that those two things can't exist in the same space. You can't say that she doesn't owe you her body, but it could be a form of abuse. It can't. It doesn't make any sense at that point.
See where you're coming from. I feel like it's only a form of abuse when it's a responsibility, because you were talking about parents feeding their children. By the way, I do have to take my leave. The time has come, but I just wanted to leave with this.
You good?
Also, thank you for having me on the platform.
No problem, brother.
If you have a responsibility to feeding your children and you choose not to, then it's abuse. But you're saying in the context of a relationship or lack thereof, there's never a responsibility to SMEX. Therefore, it can never be seen as abuse. Am I understanding that?
Yes, on the second part. On the first part, you're also wrong, because I already said it doesn't matter why the parents can't feed the kids. CPS gonna come and take them babies, bro. They don't care what your intent is, because the impact is still abusive. That's what I'm saying.
It was purely obligation and responsibility. CPS would come over there due to the reason that you have an obligation to do that. That's what I meant. But SMEX is never an obligation, therefore it can never be abused. Am I understanding that?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, and we could. I understand it
Yep.
wholeheartedly.
All right, brother.
Anything is subjective, but I'll take my lead. Thank you for having me on the platform, y'all.
All right, fam. You want to say something else, Talisa? All right.
I really don't have nothing else to say. I think I said it all. I think like a lot of people just get hung up on the fact that the man's feelings will be hurt. And they want to like make it like some really big deal. Like, oh my God, his feelings are going to be hurt. So that's abuse. Oh, we got to protect the man's feelings. When really, you know, rejection hurts. It don't matter the reason or who it is. It's going to hurt your feelings. But ultimately, it's what you do and how you respond to that. And you always have the freedom to walk away from a relationship. Women aren't, you know, holding men hostage in relationships. So you have the choice to leave, which is why it's not coercion or manipulation. I'm going to need y'all to stop that.
Facts. All right, Talisa, thanks for coming up. I got some people in this queue I'm going to get to. Brooke, appreciate the super chat. She said, if I want to peg my man and he denies me, am I abused? Oh, man, that's wild. I'm going to say no. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say no. Damn. Now peg him. It's crazy. Crazy. What up, BPG?
What's up, y'all?
Chilling.
Yeah, that last dude's take was a little weird. Him and what's the name? I want to say I was disappointed, but I'm not.
Who you talking about?
And girl dads.
Oh yeah.
Response, but I think a lot of these conversations is that like men thinking that they're sort of what Charles called it intellectually dominating. Within these topics, and they don't even pay attention to like just the wording in and of itself. Like they think that it's okay that they be offended by a woman withholding because they never ever connect the fact that she cannot withhold smacks from you. She cannot, because withholding has to do with something that belongs to you. Like if I take your microphone and I hold that is yours. For you to come get it, you know, for you to try any means to get to it, that's your property. Like that makes sense that you feel like something is being taken from you because it belongs to you. My body can never be that. Like there's a huge difference between withholding something from you and abstaining from a thing. But because of the fact that the women in their lives, they see them as their property, and that goes for their mothers, their daughters, girlfriends, wives, sisters, cousins, whoever, auntie, grandma, it don't even matter. But particularly, obviously, their romantic relationships, because of the fact that they feel like somebody is withholding something that belongs to them, they feel like whatever they do afterwards is just a result of you should have gave me my stuff. So the reason why I went to go cheat is because I had some vagina at home and you wouldn't give me the vagina I had at home. So as opposed to, you know, me being able to have access to what I already own, I went out and I got something else because I didn't have access to mine. It's like, you know, you outside and you need a pen in your car or whatever. So you don't have one, you go out, you grab one from the store so that you're able to sign the check or whatever it is people do with pens. But it's a sense of property. It's a sense of ownership. It's a sense of, you know, this is my thing. I don't have access to it. So now I got to improvise because you won't give me my thing. And I wish more dudes understood like how much they perpetuate these ideas of abuse. Like that's what that is. They be a hop skip away from yoking the lady up, and I think they honestly, I don't think that they care because of the fact that they really can't get past the fact that they don't own her. They they don't want to. They do not want to get past the fact that they don't own her, like at all. Because that video I sent you earlier, of the dudes getting emotional in the comments because the girl was watching clips with her boyfriend of football players. And he said, you know him? She said, yeah, we all went to the same school together, so a lot of these guys I already know. What? you know them? And she was like, yeah, I know that dude, and I know that dude, and I know, and he just couldn't get past it. Like, he was just like, oh my God, oh, she's for the streets. And all the dudes was in the comments like, oh man, I'm so sorry that happened to you. When all she did was say she knew them.
They thought she meant it.
Knowledge.
They thought she meant it in the biblical way. That's why they was
like, she didn't mean it.
Y'all ever heard that DJ Quick song when he said, I used to know her way back in 1991? Hey, I used to know her. That's what they thought. Nah, man.
Like, and that could be excuse, but you're talking about people who wasn't even born in the 90s. Like, you know what I mean? They have no context for that. Like, they wasn't born in the 90s, and truth be told, it ain't a whole lot of church kids out here no more. The pew babies are drying up. So the idea that, like, as a man, you can be upset that a woman just knows another man. Like, that she, even if that man and all of his friends are completely just whorish down to the bone, the fact that she knows a man who's like that already warrants some kind of reaction, because this is your property. This lady belongs to you. How dare she know other men? How dare she have access to other men? Because she might have the possibility of leaving me. But yeah, it's a weird take. I don't know what's going on.
I know what's going on, but I'm gonna let the men tell us more.
Getting fishy.
It's getting fishy. It's getting fishy. Oh my God, that's an understatement of the century. It's been fishy. I'm smelling fish. It's been stinking for a minute. Go ahead, King Loaf, man. I haven't really been seeing all your comments, but I know you've been down there yapping. What's good, bro? What's good with it, brother?
What's up, bro? I just want to say it's literally like when women, for example, right? You ever heard a woman say, well, tell a man, oh, you didn't give me the affection that I needed. You wasn't showing me any
Thanks, Donna.
affection, so she ended up getting it from somewhere else. That's literally what it is. Now, I'm not saying it's right to go cheat on your partner, because that is abuse. But when you hold something that other person needs, it's like y'all both. It's a miscommunication. I'm not trying to say it's right, and
so it's not. But that's the question. But that's the question, though. The question is it right though? Is it okay for a woman to, for a man to go cheat if a woman withholds sex from him? So if it's not right, then you agree that it's not right. So what's the but? Where's the but? Where's the disagreement?
I mean, it's about like why are you doing it? What's the purpose?
Do you care if you get cheated on? Do you care if you get cheated on? You're gonna be like, nah, that's fair. Like what?
I mean, if I would get cheated on, I wouldn't care. I would have to move on with my life. Exactly.
That's my point. It wouldn't matter what excuse she gave you. You would be like, that's not a good enough excuse.
I mean, I'm sticking to the point of withholding something, right?
I know. Listen to what I'm saying. No matter what it is, it doesn't matter. You are going to feel like here's what I'm saying. Unless you were like physically, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, whatever to your girl. Beyond that, I'm saying, let's say y'all just in a relationship, you've been neglectful, you ain't been giving her what she wanted, meeting her needs emotionally, physically, whatever. She cheats on you, you find out. It doesn't matter. You're never gonna be like, you know what, you got it, you got that. So where's the disagreement? You agree.
I mean, yeah, it's like I was saying, bro, or like the other guy was saying, it's kind of a loaded question.
It's really not.
Because when you think about it, yeah, we would disagree. It's not okay to cheat on your wife. But let's not say cheat. Like let's say for some instance, he brings up the argument. You know what I'm saying? Hey, why are you withholding? Some shit like that, right?
Okay.
What would be the reason?
You're neglectful. You're most of the time it's going to be neglect. I would say almost every single time, if a woman does not want to have sex with you, it's because you are neglecting her in some way. I'm gonna say 99.9% of the time, that's probably, I can't think of the 0.1% when that wouldn't be the case, but 99.9% of the time is going to be neglect, rooted in some form of neglect. You're neglecting her emotions. You're neglecting her needs. You're neglecting helping her. It's going to fall somewhere in there. The disgust, somebody said neglect and disgust, the neglect and disgust. The disgust is going to come from the neglect. So like him neglecting you will lead you to be disgusted by him. Right. So that's what I'm saying. It's going to come from neglect no matter what.
My lady, she did the same thing. And it was like, okay, you don't feel like it. All right. I'm going to leave you at it. But I'm not going to withdraw my support from her or nothing like that. I'm going to just wait until you back into the mood.
What you mean? What do you mean? You got to give me, if you could go a little bit more in depth into that, I would love to hear, because I don't know what you're trying to say there.
For example, right? I don't know if your woman ever did it to you, but she just hit me with the not tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
You don't think in
17 like it tonight?
In 17 years has my wife told me not tonight? Yeah, she's told me not tonight many a times, but keep going.
Yeah, of course. So how I want to say this. I just think it's a communication issue between both parties, because like you say, right?
What does she need to communicate with? What does she need to communicate to you in that moment? Besides not tonight, what more do you need?
It's like not so much as the reason why, but how does she feel? Because like you have said, right? Certain men or whatever dudes, they could get neglectful, but it's really just them not showing intimacy towards their partner. Now,
what?
Internally, it's because of whatever they're going through. So you can ask the question like, all right, why are you not the same person as we was when we first started dating, right? And that dude will probably tell you, hey, it's something going on in my life right now.
Like what?
They trying to figure it out or whatever, right? But it's not saying like that's how I want to say this.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I'm listening. I'm actively listening to what you're saying, and I
want
to point out something that I think that men go wrong with. You begin with an enthusiastic yes, that she wants to have relations with you on a consistent basis. She's eager about it, and then one day she does not. The biggest issue is, and you literally just said it not too long ago, men will get that no, not tonight. It'll be a couple of nights, and instead of investigating what the no comes from, they will leave it there, and they will just continuously try until they get a yes. That is literally where it all goes left, because it's not a lack of communication on both parts. She's communicated to you that she does not want to be intimate with you.
Mm-hmm.
There is a point as a partner where now you have to do your investigative reporting. Okay.
Because she doesn't owe you an explanation, by the way, King Loaf. Like if she just says no, she doesn't owe you an explanation for no. So if you want to know, then you would have to be the one to press and be like, well, what's going on? I would feel
if you care.
If you care, I was gonna say if you care.
That is where that care and support comes in. Because again, and I said this the last time we had this conversation. Don't assume that maybe you've done something wrong. Because I tell my husband this. If I'm having a funky day and I got a bad attitude, go down the list of stuff that you could have possibly did wrong. And if he goes down the list and he's like, okay, nah, because the kitchen clean, the kids ain't harassing nobody, I done paid for some nails and some hair, and I done did some nice shit. Like I done used my A game.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow she's still upset. That means that either has nothing to do with me or something else is going on.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have to investigate. Okay, are you feeling okay? Is your body okay? Okay, your body is okay.
I'm just gonna start doing shit, BPG. I'm just gonna start doing shit. Like
It works like a charm.
I'm about to just start doing shit. We just got to figure it out. What tomorrow? I'm talking to her more. I'm all in her face like, hey, we good? And you know, what happened? You know, I ain't asking her about that though. I'm just having like a conversation, and I'm just like, oh, you know, that was crazy. Let me tell you what. I got a joke. I'm just like, let's lighten the mood up because something going on here.
The easiest way to crack a woman's leg like crab legs. I'm gonna give you.
Nah, don't give no dating advice to these dudes. They don't deserve it.
I am. I'm gonna give you some tea because my husband did this the other day and it worked like a charm. I hate doing dishes. I cannot stand it. It makes my skin crawl. I clean the whole kitchen. I hate doing dishes. I saw the dishes in the sink. I didn't feel like it. I went in the room and it just meant the idea of it just mentally made me exhausted. He came to the door, looked at me, didn't say a word, went in, washed the dishes. I said, and he came back with this like smirk on his face. I'm like, why are you looking like that? He was like, I did those dishes. And I was like, why are you looking like that? He was like, I didn't want you tired and trying to, you know, concentrate on when you were going to do the dishes because I need your energy tonight.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Yeah, that should have saved you at least 15, 20 minutes of energy. You should at least have a solid 15, 20 for the night.
Like, what was that? And quite literally, eventually, like, again, that was a very easy moment to be intimate because you killed you unalived so many birds with one stone because of the fact that you saw that I was in distress. You did a thing that you felt like would help. And then you came back and started talking big cash money about how you did it and why you did it. And the reason why you did it was because of the fact that you wanted intimacy with me. For sure, you're getting some vagina tonight.
I think that 2 thumbs up. I think that's 2 thumbs up, man.
Yeah, that was cool.
It don't get no better than that. That's it. And it's a lot. And basically, in a relationship, it's just that over and over and over again. It's just like that every day. Over and over and over and over and over and over and wake up and do it again and wake up and do it like every single day. That's really what it is for me. So yeah, I don't understand. So she says no. I know during the my wife during the school year because she's an educator. I know when she go to sleep, ain't no waking her up. You know what I'm saying? Let's put it like that. When she go to sleep, ain't no 11:30, 12 o'clock, ain't none of that. She knocked out by 9:30, 10 tops. And I can't budge her at 10:30, 11. I can't nudge her. You know what I'm saying? I can't spoon her. Ain't none of that popping. At that point, you just got to kiss her on her forehead and watch her sleep. But it's because, you know, the school year it be weighing on her. It's taxing. You know what I'm saying? It's heavy. And she got a lot of pressure or whatever from work. Summertime, no. Totally different story. Totally different. When the pressure ain't there from the external pressure, because it ain't me. Like I didn't do that to her. You said what?
I was talking about my phone.
Yeah. The external pressure ain't there. So summertime is different. The summertime is different. When she's off is different. When she not. So I was like, oh, that's not me. You know what I mean? Like that ain't got nothing to do with me. And there's nothing I really can do, to be honest with you. There's really nothing I can do because work is work is work. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't got nothing to do with me. So she gonna feel that pressure no matter what. She tired. She got to get up the next day and make sure she's, you know, up for the next day. That's all it is. That's all it is. And the more I do throughout the day to alleviate whatever other pressures she have and other stressors and you know, energy drains and whatnot, just leaves more energy for me later on. I mean, that's why I think it's funny when people talk about love and conditional and relating and reciprocation. Hey man, this shit is a pay to play thing. Relationships are pay to play. I don't care how y'all slice it. Relationships are pay to play. And they should be. They better be, actually. Healthiest way is to pay to play. Go ahead, King Lo.
I get that. But my thing is we not mind readers. We all can't read each other's minds, right? So my example would be like, so BBG, right? If your husband would come home and he seems off, right? I don't think simply him coming home into a clean house or him coming home and he sees you cleaning or not is going to be enough to solve his issues, right? So that's why I would say, like, communicate. Talk to him. Just she was on his mind, not in his mind, but she was on his mind. She was bothering him. Not to say try to fix all his problems like you have.
Your girl don't talk to you? Your girl don't be asking you how your day went, and she don't do all of that for you? Then what you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. That's the whole the purpose of the communication thing, right?
Bro, women.
All right, what I'm saying is, right, if your wife say, hey, not tonight, right, for many days in a row.
Okay.
You got the house clean, the kids good, you on your shit, bro. You doing your thing.
Yeah.
And she's still telling you no?
Ask her.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's communication.
Ask her. That's a part of the communication. You asking is a part of the communication.
So you're not just asking her, hey, why you not saying yes to sex, right?
No, you just ask her, is she okay?
What's on your mind, baby? Like, what's good right now?
Are you okay? And you know what I would suggest? To not do it right after you ask her for specs, because then it seems like you're literally just asking her so you can have specs with her. Like, do it the next day, right?
Of course. I get that.
Like, it's super easy. Just ask her. I don't understand. Just ask her. You okay? You good?
So don't misunderstand what I'm saying, because it's not a matter of like, hey, clean the house. She should want to have smacks. That's not at all what I'm saying.
No.
I get what you're saying. It's just relieving the pressure that she feels like she has, because whether people get it or not, everybody have pressures on it. Everybody got some type of weight on their shoulder. So him doing the dishes and whatever else in the house, it just relieves you of the pressure of even thinking about it. Not even if you was going to do it or not, but so you won't have to think about it. That's what he did for you. If that's right or not.
But it's not. It's much more than that, because again, there are days where I'm perfectly fine doing dishes and that doesn't mean a thing to me. And there are days where it's completely draining. That particular day, again, like I said, he came to the room, he saw me laying down, he saw that I was frustrated. He didn't want to add to whatever had already frustrated me. That's the point. That level of care and attentiveness is a reflection of, I've noticed that something is off about my partner. I can't get to the bottom of what the thing is, but I know that there is a thing. I'm going to alleviate stress however I can, and then we can figure out, okay, whatever else is going on. But also, it's, again, if after some time, and public can attest to this, after some time with your partner, you can tell when they're upset about something and they want you to inquire.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell when they're upset about something and they want to be left alone.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell when they're upset about something and they just pissed and they want to vent. You can tell when they're upset at you about something.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell those different types.
You could tell when they upset and they don't even know they upset.
Yeah.
Like, they don't, like, there's just something, and then you be like, you good? And they be like, actually, and then there's, now y'all having a conversation. It don't even be like a conscious thing where they're just like walking around mad all day. It could just be like, and you just do conversations like, that pissed me off. You're like, oh, that's what's been bothering me. I've had that happen before. So yeah, you see it.
Because after some time, when you're around somebody, particularly somebody that you love, you notice their patterns. And women do this a lot. And I think that men don't appreciate this part, because women have to do this not only with their intimate partners, with just about everybody in their lives. They have to study the people around them. This is why people think that women have women's intuition. Women don't have women's intuition. Women's voices are suppressed in such a way that they are constantly in rooms and in spaces where they are quiet and they just monitor how people move. And after a couple of weeks, couple months, couple years, they know, they can tell you what you're going to do before you do it, because you don't realize that you're doing that thing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have a partner that you care for, you're paying attention to that person's patterns quite literally all the time. I can tell my husband that he's discombobulated about something. I can tell him that he's upset about something. I can tell when he's masking about something. Like, he does it, and he does it. I know him so well that he doesn't recognize when he's doing it before I do. Most of the time, I notice his patterns well before he ever notices that something is wrong. But that's what I mean by, like, by the time you get to the point of being like, that person is withholding smecks from me, so many other things have happened throughout that course that you probably have missed, that you either don't want to see, you don't care about, don't want to invest in, that now it is to the point where you're going to keep dealing with that same issue over and over and over again because of the fact that you're not being attentive enough to that person to know, like, hey, this is a pattern. And that's why I used physical illness as a sign, because you know, you can pretend like, you know, you don't notice all of these other cues about she needs help around the house and she needs help with kids and she need, you know, that she's signaling to you. But as a partner, you need to be attentive enough to know, like, hey, she's emotionally frustrated, but physically she's acting differently. Like, it's not just specs. She's more, why is she so tired all the time? Why is she water all the time? Why is she, you know what I mean? She's always talking about she got stomach problems or a headache or whatever. That's a bigger sign of something else. But that's attentiveness. Most men just really don't want to be attentive in that way because men are unfortunately socialized to be self-centered. So a lot of the things that they see, until it's negatively affecting them, they don't want to see it. And the worst part about it is the moment that Smex is taken off the table, now they see it. Now they see, oh, wait a minute, something going on because she said not tonight again, and I can't get my access to the Smex I want. So now I know that something is wrong when something been wrong for months.
Yeah, that happens all the time. Men don't recognize it until the Smex get involved. Go ahead, Lo.
No, I was just agreeing with her. I understand that. I wouldn't even oppose an argument to most men aren't attentive, even though I damn sure pay attention to mine. But yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I know. I think that I think I'm trying to figure out the part that where you disagreed.
Well, as I was reading it, right, that's why I said it's a loaded question, because men, is it okay to cheat if your woman is withholding sex, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's 50-50, and it's depending on how you look at it, right?
No,
listen.
it's really not. But go ahead, I'm listening.
All right, I say it's 50-50 because I also look at it in a woman's eyes. So if your man ain't giving you the quote unquote attention, right? He's really not giving you attention, and then you move on. Yes, that's how you was feeling in that moment. But overall, it's not good that you cheated. Like, you should have talked to him, and he should have talked to you before you did something like that.
Do you know do you know that the group that gets you know how most women catch HIV? Like the new, so basically I should say this. So the one of the largest demographics of people who catch HIV, like new HIV cases, are women in relationships with heterosexual men, right?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I started paying attention to that a long time ago after I seen the charts. It was just red dots everywhere.
I don't know what that means, but you should pay attention to that. But anyways, what I'm saying is the reason why I bring that up is because cheating is a problem, and it's never okay to cheat for reasons like that. I mean, you can't say, of course, and then make an excuse for it. That's what I'm saying. You not understand that those, like, you guys say stuff, like, I don't be knowing if you really understand what you're saying. You can't say, of course, and then go, but. There's no but. There's no wiggle room in there. It absolutely is. It is 100% an absolute. Because when you cheat, you open up you then open up your partner to things that they didn't sign up for.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, and I 100% stand on it that it's not okay to cheat, but it's also not okay to withhold anything from your partner.
Of course it is.
Not talk to them about it.
Of course it is.
It's kind of crazy to me.
Not crazy.
Especially if you're doing something strong or whatever with your partner. Shit, I need to. And that's crazy.
Oh Jesus. One doesn't equate to the other, right? You keep putting that button there because you just want to have that escape route, to have a reason. Oh, well, if they, well, you know, it's not right, but hey, if you do this then because you withheld, that means that it gives your partner all the reason in the world to go out and do it. A lot of the times for me, you all just want to disagree. You don't know why you're disagreeing. You don't know how to articulate why you're disagreeing. You just simply want to disagree because it's foreign. It's such a foreign concept to you and what you have going on. I know it's already been said. I know it's already been said. I know BPG got up here and said it. I know Public has said it. But if you all only, everything that you do is just for the reward of sex. You're not even doing it because you actually want to have sex. You don't even really want it. All you're doing is just acting like a shorty little, 16-year-old kid. You out here being Kevin Gates. I'm just thinking with my thing. But you don't even actually have the intimacy involved within it. And I'm not saying you. So
yeah,
say this,
just saying men in general. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, just men in general, right? So you don't even really have the intimacy involved to go along with it. Your whole thing is, hey, I came home, honey was looking right, you know what I'm saying? Booty was jiggling in that daggone moo-moo or whatever she had on. And all of a sudden now I just know that my tip wants to get wet. But you've avoided all of the intimacy that goes in it because half the time when you all think of intimacy, you think of penetration. You don't think of intimacy as just simply being, hey, having a conversation. Hey, me just going up and expressing my desires. You skip over intimacy. And when you do all of that, and then you're just like, oh, I'm going to go huff and puff on her for 2 to 5 minutes, you all don't even check in with your partner. Even if you do go out and cheat, you're not even checking in with the woman that you cheated with. You just know, I got a thing, I need my tip wet, and I'm going to go get my tip wet, and then that's going to solve all my problems. So it's not, it's about the attentiveness. It's about, communication. It's about all of that. But a lot of time, most men in general don't even address for themselves intimacy and what that means to them and how they plan to use it. If all of the things are clean and everything else, and you can't believe that, oh, I paid the bills and the house is clean and the kids are taken care of, and, the dog has dog food, and the bees and the birds are out there singing the way that they should be, that means that you should automatically be ready to go. Majority of the time too, it's honestly, they don't want to just have sex with you because of how you view sex. You come in, you got the same boring positions.
Let me, hold on.
Go ahead.
Keep going, Joker. Let me land that real quick and then let me ask this question.
Okay. So just to land, point blank, a lot of, it's attentiveness and all of that other stuff that goes along with that. But again, a lot of men do not even address for themselves the intimacy that they're actually looking for beyond getting their tip wet.
That's for real. Dainty wanted me to ask Loaf. Appreciate the super chat, Dainty. She said, if you withhold smacks from your girl, is it okay for her to cheat?
Bro, I don't think y'all get where I'm coming from.
We don't.
I'm saying it's not okay to cheat.
Okay.
Now, the reason why I'm opposed to it on that 50-50 part is because I don't know how y'all grew up, but I grew up watching things like Judge Joe Brown, so on and so forth, right?
Okay.
Cool. So in those court cases, the examples they give off is, oh, my lady wasn't showing me no type of love. I'm doing this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Everything's right on my end, but I ain't getting nothing. And it'll be the same with the women. Well, he's not showing me any affection. Like, I don't feel it. And that would be their reasoning for going about it. So it all goes back to that, like, communication part, right? So I get what she's saying, bro, but I don't think y'all is hearing me.
What is King Love? What is intimacy?
Intimacy is it's touch, it's thought, it's almost like love, but it's more personal.
Can you be specific? Like, what is an act of intimacy like beyond Smex?
An act of intimacy for me, for an example, making sure she walk on the right side of the road, opening up her doors. What else?
These are intimate. Wait.
If it's cold outside, I'm giving her my jacket.
You're
just rubbing my lady's feet.
You're confused. Whoa, rubbing your lady's feet is an intimate act for sure. Those other things are not intimacy. You would do that for any woman.
No, not any woman.
You would do that for any girl you're on a date with. If you're on a date with a woman, you're gonna walk on the outside. That's chivalry. That's not intimacy. You're gonna hold the door open for a stranger, like that's chivalry. What are you talking about?
Your daughter.
Yeah, you would do that for anybody, for any woman. Yeah.
See, y'all trying to. That's weird, bro. That's weird. We talking about you.
It's not weird. We're just trying to help you understand that you weren't. Huh?
We're talking about a relationship, like
intimacy. That's what I'm saying. You say it's weird. That's what makes us think you don't understand it, because you could have an intimate relationship with God. You can have an intimate relationship with your grandmother. It doesn't mean physical. You know what I mean? Like, it's not sexual.
So, okay. So your question would be, what is intimacy outside of a relationship?
These are all relationships. But you and your friend is a relationship. It's a friendship.
You can't tell me that the relationship you have with your male friends is the same relationship you have with your
No. I'm saying it's all a relationship, though. It's all considered a relationship. That's my point.
Yeah, it is. But the same amount of intimacy you have with your wife, you're not going to have it with anybody on TikTok or your male friends. So it's different for your wife. You don't treat nobody the same as you treat your wife.
I mean, outside of having smacks with them and physical stuff.
What's intimacy to you?
I try to treat them the same. But like, okay, so an intimate act for me is like when I talk to my wife, when we have like listening to her talk about her feelings and and things of that, not just like
that's talking.
Yeah, I know, but I want to be specific too. I'm saying not just like talking about like whatever the hell, like sports or something like that. I'm saying like really talking like in depth about their feelings and their emotions and their fears and things of that nature. That's like really intimate, talking about their past traumas and past experiences and and things of that nature. That's a part of it. But now you want to talk about like a physical act of intimacy would be like like touching, right? Like massaging, or some would say groping, but you know what I'm saying, like grabbing her butt, or something like that. Her grabbing my whatever, rubbing my lower back, stuff like that. These are intimate touches, right? That's what I'm saying. But remove the physical aspect of it. Remove those things from it. I have very similar relationships with my kids. Like I talk to my kids. You see what I'm saying? Like I have an intimate relationship with my sons. Like it's not like you know what I mean? Like I'm really talking, when we talk, I'm trying to get like deep down in what these dudes is thinking. And I really want to know what they really feel, and I really want to understand them, and I really, so it's not, it doesn't always have to be like these physical things, but so many men, they only focus on the physical aspect of intimacy. You know what I'm saying? They do. Like that's and because that's what we want the most. We want we want that other stuff, because we don't even really care about that other stuff so much. You know what I'm saying? Most men, if you ask them, they don't even care about that. Most men wouldn't say holding my hand. Most women wouldn't say kissing me on the forehead. Most men wouldn't say that stuff. They was like, I like being a small spoon. That's my that's my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm bigger than my wife. I don't know why. It's just, it feels better. But so I like being a small spoon. That's my thing. You know what I'm saying? She likes.
That's the physical part, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying.
Let's stick this in here.
Wait a minute.
It is true. Intimacy, right, is into me so that I can see you. Somebody actually did post it. I'm glad that they said that because we actually do focus on that. Intimacy, into me so that I can see you. It is a deeper connection. It goes beyond the surface, basic ass, level that we all love, not just men, women too, that we all love to operate on. It actually transcends just, hey, tell me how you feel today and what does that mean and how did that make you feel? It actually delves deep down into what those feel, actually, explaining those emotions, explaining those feelings in a manner that allows the other person to be able to see for themselves, like, yo, I never thought about this on this level. Even if you wanted to do physical into me so that I can see you. Okay, even if you wanted to do that, there are well over 226 erogenous zones on the body. If you don't know what an erogenous zone is, go look it up. There's actually a lot more than that, but we'll just stick with the ones that I currently said. So having the time to actually explore, if you're going to do physical intimacy, having the time to actually explore that, and having it explored on you. Okay, I tell people all the time, lick your man behind your knee and see what happens. But don't listen to me right now, y'all, but do it. And then people be like, yo, like that's mad crazy. And I'm like, okay, but until you've had it done to you and until you found out the feelings that it has invoked in you, because it goes deeply past just the erectile tissue that belongs on your body, actually getting erected. So into me to see you. If I want to be intimate with you, whether I am doing it on just a conscious plane or I want to do it on a physical plane, it is going to allow me to be able to understand and see you beyond what I actually really think that your purpose for being with me actually is. If we do it with our children, it's actually seeing our kids outside of, oh, you're just my, you're my spawn. So because you're my spawn, things are supposed to be like this and they're supposed to look like that and everything else. With your partner, oh, well, hey, you match with me. So you're just supposed to be here to just, quench my worldly desires and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's kind of how I with me. So that's how I want to.
James, you got a crazy echo, brother. Go ahead, look, Joker.
That's what I want you to be able to see. When you think of intimacy, it is beyond the erectile tissue that is on your body and having that actually met. Because when you are able to go beyond the erectile tissue on your body, women too, when you're able to go beyond that, things start looking different. You start viewing things different. You start interpreting things in the manner that actually gives you that deeper connection that we all, no matter what anybody says, we all want that deeper connection. We all want to be understood. It doesn't matter if we're in a relationship with people or not. We all want to be understood.
Fact.
So when you're into you to see me, that's when that's going to start occurring.
I brought James up. James, unmute your mic. Let me see if you got that feedback still, brother. That was crazy. Go. Yo.
Probably I'm in.
Go ahead, brother. It's
transition right now. So
no, you good. It sounds good. You straight. You got a little background, but you good.
The erogenous zone she's talking about, it doesn't matter. If a person in a relationship wants you to fulfill a simple thing and you do it.
If the person in a relationship, what? What'd you say? James. I missed it. What'd you say? You said if a person does what? Damn. Shit choppy. Damn, man, you breaking up like the Temptations. Oh, man. Hey, brother, you can come back whenever you get that. That was crazy.
You don't want to believe in God, but God said, Thank you, BPG.
God said, God said, I believe in it. I believe in the 5G. I believe in the 5G and Wi-Fi gods. Them the only guys I pray to. I'll be like this. Oh my goodness. Go ahead, Loaf.
Hey, Pop, I got a question, bro. So you really like being Little Spoon?
Man, do I like it? I love it.
I ain't gonna lie.
Go ahead now. Your shit cut out too. Damn.
See? We praying.
Prayer Warriors is working overtime today. Go ahead, Lo. Damn, the Prayer Warriors is working overtime today. Ah, he got dropped too. Damn. Hold on. Let's see if James come back.
But to actually answer, somebody said ghetto Kama Sutra. That's funny. But to actually answer, I guess, whatever question that is, what does erogenous zones have to do with? I don't know. He said something.
He was basically just trying to say, because he said in the comments, he was saying like that don't help when the woman is withholding smacks.
And that's the problem right there. It's not so you like. That's what happens when you only focus on one part of the message and completely skipped everything else. You heard erogenous zones, don't know what they are. And you're like, yo, I ain't never heard that before, so let me just go ahead and argue it down. Because you can't even explain what an erogenous zone is. But that's what happens right there. But believing that erogenous zones don't even matter.
The mind is the biggest erogenous zone.
Right. I actually attributed erogenous zones to physical intimacy. I broke down both sides of intimacy. You know what I'm saying? So you have your standing intimacy and then you have your physical. But again, and y'all, women too, men too, whatever, women lie, men lie, whatever. But I promise if more men, because we do this with our men, and it's sad and unfortunate because we actually have to do it with the women too, because women, unfortunately, we get so used to just having these, trying to be open to anything else.
Y'all want to see it there?
Because, hey, this is what we've been doing for, did you say I see dead people? Being stuck for 5, 10, 15, 20 years with your mate and y'all been doing the same thing. Actually trying to open up to just new horizons, right? Everybody wants to come and hit me with the Kama Sutra. And I'm like, okay, I want you to understand what the Kama Sutra actually is, right? It was developed to basically teach smurgeons how to please, and especially when they were about to be concubines and stuff like that. It was supposed to be a manual on how to teach. But majority of the daggone positions that are actually in that book are nigh impossible to get into.
Yeah.
Right?
They all impossible for me because I got my lower back is messed up. So, you know what I'm saying? I keep my shit. It's only certain. Do they teach a lot of stuff where you can like stand up on the edge of the bed?
If you go, like there's sensate, there's tantra, there's sensate, and yes, there are different things, you know what I'm saying, that we account for when we have people coming in who have, particular injuries and stuff like that or whatever. So yes, they don't always require you to be, standing up and trying to hold up weight.
Yeah.
Anyway, James is here.
There we go, James. What's up, brother? You good now?
Let me repeat right quick, and I missed what y'all said, but if I'm asking you for a drink of water and you start telling me about steak dinners, what good is that going to do me? And I just want a drink of water.
What you mean, brother?
You can talk about the erogenous zones and how many they are and how pleasurable they are, but I'm asking you for something specific that you're saying no to. And all the other stuff that you're telling me is not going to benefit me.
What's
you understand? In the relationship, I'm asking for.
Hold on, let him finish, Joker.
Right quick,
Go ahead.
Can you just tell me what the definition of an erogenous zone is? What is an erogenous zone?
I'll give you an example because I read books about the erogenous zone. It's like standing. It's like sitting at a traffic light. And somebody's looking at you and you can feel it. So you look and you see them looking at you. That's one of the things associated with your erogenous zone. It's when a person, that's exactly what the book says. When somebody stands too close to you and you feel uncomfortable, they're standing in your zone, that erogenous zone. You feel their energy. person's energy. Anyway, all of what you said doesn't mean a thing. If a man comes home and he's to bring home some money, and the wife is like, "Hey, where's the money?" He say, "Oh, I didn't bring any money home. I brought you some flowers." She's not asking for flowers. No matter how great that might make her day, she's asking for the cash. So him bringing home flowers isn't benefiting her, and it's the same thing with men. Men want the smacks. If you don't want to give it to him, hey, you just don't make up all this other stuff about what he should want. He telling you what he want. Can you fulfill that simple need?
But I'm trying to figure out what are you saying that if you that the one that you don't owe it to the woman to make her to get her aroused? Like, I'm not understanding. What do you mean?
Well, we're not talking about getting a woman aroused right now. What we're
of course we are.
Is it wrong for a man to go out there and get smacks if his wife is withholding?
And why would she be withholding smacks from him? Hold on, James. I know, but let's.
They have all kind of reasons.
James.
She could be interested in somebody else.
James, what sense does it make? If you're not going to try to finish the thought out, then it doesn't make any sense. So let's try to rationalize this so it can make sense for everybody. What is a reason that a woman would opt out of having sex with a man? What are some of the reasons? Would it more than likely be rooted? Hold on, I'll make it easy for you. Would it more than likely be rooted in how he is treating her?
It definitely could.
Okay, more than likely, it's going to be because of how the woman is, because of how the man is treating her. So her opting out of her opting out of the act is a reaction to the treatment she is experiencing from that man. What are you not understanding? That is what we're talking about. At its core, that's what it is. So if you just saying like, well, you just skipping to the end part going, all I know is she don't want to have sex. Okay, but what led up to that, brother? You don't want to understand that? You just want to go, I don't know, she's not giving me smacks.
The title doesn't say anything about asking what led up to it. It says, man, is it okay to cheat if your woman is withholding smacks? It doesn't ask, hey, man, do you know what could cause a woman not to have smacks with you?
I mean, that's implied, but okay.
I'm addressing the question.
Go ahead, Ma. How do you say her name? Maud?
If a woman is withholding, I suggest a man go to a smacks therapist and get therapy for their relationship.
I agree. Go ahead, Maud.
I disagree. I don't think it's okay for a man to cheat on his woman if she's withholding sex. I believe there's a certain level of communication that comes with like knowing your partner's emotions or just communicating how you feel about something.
Mm-hmm.
And women, before they check out of a relationship, you don't even know it. Like, it's way before they actually leave the relationship or start showing signs of like, I'm not interested or something's wrong in this relationship or something's not going right. Women tend to do that naturally without us even knowing because they're more in tune with their emotions. So also I can't agree with that, man. I can't agree with a man, me personally as a man, cheating on a woman, even if she's withholding sex from me. I mean, there's things you can do like, hey, if you're not comfortable or you don't feel like having sex with me or you're just not in the mood, okay, that's cool, we can just try again another day, or I don't fucking know, like find another partner. Like, it's not that, I don't know, there's everybody, there's somebody for everybody out there. So I mean, like, you ain't gotta be promiscuous, but shit, I mean, if somebody ain't feeling you, if somebody's withholding sex, ask that person, try to communicate with them, see what's up, like, and if you can't find out or figure it out, then obviously she checked out already.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
He did say ask why, you guys. To everybody saying ask why. He literally said you should try to find out why. He's saying, but if you can't get to the bottom of the why, then you could just leave the relationship. You don't have to cheat on him, which sounds reasonable. That's pretty much the most reasonable response to it. James is saying, I don't care about the why. All I know is she doesn't want to have sex with me, and therefore it's justified. Which is a weird.
A lot of things people have a problem with doing too when it comes to communication. A lot of people don't have the capacity to communicate with their partner.
Yeah.
Not even the mental stability to communicate and try to work things out. Some people are quick to leave. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's I forgot, it's a saying where don't turn your page too fast.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really self-explanatory, man. If somebody's not feeling you, you can sense energy. Like, I don't know who said it earlier, but you can sense energy when someone's in your presence. So, like, say if me and don't take this wrong, me and BBG met up and we just talking or whatever, and she's automatically, my energy's all weird and shit to her. Like, obviously, you know, she's not gonna be feeling anything, right? Like, that's just how it go, man. If somebody's not feeling you, just move around. Like, somebody out there for everybody, bro. You ain't gotta really. If somebody's not willing to communicate with you and tell them why they have an issue with you or why they're not doing this with you or anything like that anymore, then
dip out.
That ain't you. We're all grown here. We're all grown ass fucking beings. So we ain't no reason for us to sit here and try to figure out. I'm not Charles Xavier. I can't read your mind. So I'm gonna ask you what's wrong. If you can't communicate that with me, then I'm gonna just move on. I ain't got time to be sitting here waiting for you to figure out what you want to do with me.
Facts. Go ahead, James. I saw you on mute. Go ahead, brother.
I honestly believe men should go out there and get themselves a therapist. Get you a professional. If you need something to drink, well, I'm just using this as an analogy. If the faucet turned off at your house, go somewhere and pay for you a bottle of water so you can get something to drink. And you don't have to worry about that. They can keep the water turned off at the house.
You think that wait. God damn. Wait, James, is the water Smex or not? Because your analogy not working for me. If the water's
if the water turned off, go buy a bottle of water.
I know. Hold on, James. James, can you hear me? James, can you hear me? Damn. What I'm trying to ask you is the water Smex in your analogy?
Yeah.
Okay.
The water faucet would be the woman withholding.
Got you. The woman. The water faucet would be the woman. Okay. Cool. So if you say you're saying go buy a bottle of water, which would be Smex. That's my point. So
from a therapist.
What? No, wait, wait, move, whatever. Wait.
When she asks you where you've been, you tell her you've been to therapy.
Wait, are you calling it a therapist an S work? You calling it an S worker a therapist?
No, I'm calling my therapist somebody that's gonna help me with my SMEC situation that I have at home.
Hold on. Stop calling it a therapist. Hold on. No, brother. Wait. Hold on, brother. Let me get this out because I got it. Sir, are you talking about a licensed therapist that has went to college for therapy, or are you talking about an expert? And
it's a lot of them.
What do you?
A lot of them. They license in it.
Come on, James.
Y'all gotta look it up. There are people who are literally licensed to help you in that situation.
They don't help you get it.
Oh yeah, they will help you. You can get some help now.
This is crazy.
When you go home, you can go home to your wife in a good mood.
Oh, what?
Don't do that part though.
Bro, what? Wait, whoa. What did you just?
I said you'll go there. You'll get help with your situation and go home to your wife in a good mood rather than sitting up in there angry and bitter towards her because she's turned the faucet off.
No. Abort mission. That for one.
Why was I rooting for him when he first said therapy? I was like, that's actually kind of.
I said it in the comments that a plot twist was coming. I swear to you, I said it.
I didn't know, PPG.
The moment he said that, I knew it was gonna let.
We just left mental health month for men. I don't see a problem with men getting help with their mental.
This is not mental health, brother. It's not mental.
If you're deprived physically, it's gonna.
Because I'm gonna
to listen to what you're saying because this is the most entertaining thing I've seen all day. And I've been on the Grays binge. It's way more entertaining. But I do want to say with the example that was provided, there was no way for it to not go left because when your water gets cut off, and maybe that's just me, I don't know. Everybody on TikTok got 6 figures, so they've been, living the best life. When I was a kid and our water got cut off, that was the worst time ever because getting a glass of water to drink is the least of your worries when your water is cut off. Like, you have to figure out how to get your water cut on because you can't use your toilet. You got to figure out how to wash up. Like, you constantly getting jugs of water all the time to try to deal with what the need is. Like, being thirsty is the least of it because a small bottle of water is $1. But jugs and jugs and jugs of water to wash multiple people is expensive. And I think that's what y'all really be meaning when y'all say that. Like, you do mean go get a therapist or S worker to handle that problem real quick because you don't plan on ever actually dealing with the issue. And the weirdest part is that y'all still be wanting to go home. If the lady is not giving you what you want and she's not fulfilling the need and you say that this is something that you have to have, like water or food, and she's withholding that from you, that thing that belongs to you, let her go.
But they don't come turn the water on at night. It might be the weekend. They're not coming on the weekend to turn the water back on. You gotta wait all the way to Monday, and depending on when you
don't gotta wait all the way to Monday.
Oh my God!
You ain't gotta wait till Monday. If you got a water key, you can turn your water on yourself.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and if you go turn that water on yourself, and you gonna go straight to jail because they gonna call that forced. Okay, what you need to do, walk on out there to go to the store, and you might find one up there real quick to take care of that water situation for you. Go back home, say, hey, how you doing, baby? Jump in the bed, go to sleep.
This analogy is going crazy.
This analogy is hilarious.
Before you go to jail over soliciting, you think that when you go to that dark corner and turn that street to go pick up that therapist, that the police ain't gonna pull up right behind you and you gonna see them lights and them sirens?
Now he care about the laws, BPG. Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. I'd rather cut my own water back on. Like, I'll risk the police coming to my house over that versus the thing James talking about doing. But hey, wait, hold on. I gotta get Ivory in here real quick. Go ahead, Ivory.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
I just wanted to come up and this notion of withholding.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think withholding exists because the idea or the notion of withholding would suggest that it's something that they are entitled to.
Mm-hmm.
And sex or somebody else's body is nothing that is owned or entitled to that other partner.
Absolutely not.
Nobody can withhold shit.
Yep. I agree. I 100% agree.
So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you for the gifts, y'all.
Appreciate it.
It's my right. It's my autonomous right.
Exactly.
My body.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, I feel like if the only concern that you have throughout your entire marriage is, if you have the thought process that if my wife turns off, she stops giving me smacks, I'm gonna go out and cheat because I'm a man and I need it, then we need to stay single. Because that is, if you're only getting married because you just want to have
access,
access to roll over every day or whatever, then that's just mad crazy. You just wonder why.
Hey, somebody called him James the Jezebel.
It's stupid. Like, if you're cheating, you were not there for the long. If that was your whole reason that they took it from me, so I'm gonna go cheat instead of, you could have just left. Why? What's the purpose of going to go cheat if you're not getting pleased at home and you don't want to find out the reason why, or you don't want to work on the reason why? Why continue to hold that person for ransom just so that you can continue? Or are you just hoping that eventually, okay, I'm going to stall them out, stall them out, Blue, stall them out. Is that what you're trying to do? Because it just really makes no sense.
Hey, somebody.
Because of the other things that they're doing for them, right? So they want their cake and to eat it too. So that person at home might be doing the dishes or
It's
doing
labor.
the laundry, taking care of the kids. It's all the other labor that's being done.
Yep. I said, you already know it's they want to still, they feel once men commit to a woman, they feel entitled to the woman's body and her labor. Anti-troll called him James DeJohn.
Every time I see him, that's going to be his name, James DeJohn. I'm like, hey, James DeJohn, you can't even be James Spirit anymore.
Damn, bro. James DeJohn is crazy. John James.
And honestly, I think this is probably the most facetious reason. I heard somebody yesterday in a live, because they had this, very same thing, and they were like, oh, if, outside of medical reasons, if she's withholding it, then she just has to assume and understand that if she's not giving it up to her man, that he's gonna go out and cheat. And I was like, why does she have to accept that? And why does she have to assume that? Because what are you saying? That you have no control over your body?
Yes.
Well, I know that they are.
That's what they're trying to say, as if they don't have any control. And it plays, it just goes right. Like, here's why, and we talk about this all the time, but like the things that these dudes espouse on a daily about how men are the leaders and blah, 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 right? And then to simultaneously talk about how if a woman doesn't give her his body, give him her body, then he has a need, so he has to go out now and fulfill that need, right? I don't know how they are not understanding that those two things are not reconciled. Like, they don't make sense. They go against each other, right? You cannot, if you are the leader, if you are, you're not supposed to be like doing stuff like that, like, because that is unscrupulous, right? So nobody is looking to you for leadership if you can't control yourself, you can't control your urges, and you're trying to turn your. I heard somebody say something today. I was in another live, and I don't want to misquote him, but he was like something about how people. I wish he was here with Big Bam. He said something because he think he a philosopher, and he kept saying it. It would apply to now, but it didn't apply with what he was saying. It's like people basically make their needs their wants, and their wants, you know what I'm saying? They make their wants their needs, if that makes sense. And so a lot, and men do that a lot of times with hunching. We go, oh, I want hunching, so now it is now a need, and they try to. And then I'll be honest with y'all. The worst thing y'all ever gave some of these heathens is the phrase love language. That's why I don't even play that shit no more. Y'all don't even come up here talking about no love language, because they will use that. They will use that shit to browbeat you at every given turn. Well, my love language is head from the back. Like, shut up. That's not how it works, bro.
All it is. Oh, sorry, Joker.
I was laughing at
All it is another way for them to pass the buck, right? Anytime there's an opportunity to pass onus onto the woman for their bad behavior, it will be done. So if I'm not giving my body and that's what I'm supposed to do, now their bad behavior of going out and cheating is on me, right? It's my fault. Of course, I should assume that should happen. Anything and everything to pass the buck.
Everything.
I know at the bottom part where it's, is it, if a woman will hold smacks, is that abuse? Now, I do fully explain the concept of that, and I'm trying to be as short as possible. So when we think about the term of abuse or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It is usually and within that doing anything that is going to, deny somebody, which honestly, I don't even want to use the word deny, but using it as a method to control, right? And which is why when people have said that sex is abuse, this is why, because they're like, if you're using it to either gain or using it to manipulate from people, because are there people out there that are like, hey, unless you do this, you're not going to get this? And I know BPG read an excerpt from a book a couple of weeks ago or whatever, and from somebody else who was like, hey, this is why it's not. And I do want to attend to why it is not, again, because you don't have, I can't use this against you because it's not the only thing, unlike financial abuse, right? If you're withholding money from me, that's preventing me from, getting and, being able to live life and stuff like that. SMEX is not, while it is a great part of life, right? But you would be okay without it. Financial means you're not going to be okay without, right? Yeah. I mean, and
also, Joker, those same men, if you said to them, would it be okay? Like, okay, so if you don't provide for me the lifestyle that I want financially, if I go and sleep with whoever who can, is that okay? They would say no. So what's the fuck? Like, how do y'all not understand that? Like, where is the if a woman is like
when they come and they're like, yo, that is abuse because she's using it to manipulate me or she's using it to try to gain something from me. And I'm like, okay, but the thing is, what they're trying to gain from, of course, what they're trying to gain from you, okay, if you just don't give it to them, then, hey, you'll be okay without having to give up SMEX. So when I hear people say that they're using it to manipulate me, oh, well, I don't come home on the weekends, or I'm not cleaning the house, or I'm not, taking care of the kids in the way that she wants me to take care of the kids. So she's telling me that she's not going to give it into me. And I'm like, but that don't even really make no sense, though, because she told you what the problem was, honestly, at the end of the day. Like, hey, I'm too tired, which you just heard, I'm not going to give it to you. You glossed over when she said, look, I need help with the kids, or I need help with the house, or you're coming home from work, I'm coming home from work, and I'm tired. I just need, I just need some time and stuff like that. You didn't hear her reasoning. All you heard was, you're not going to let me get access? But the Lord, the book, the people, society said that you belong to me. And you was out here with, who was that? Not Jagged Edge. I belong to you. Rome. You was out here being freaking Rome. And I belong to you and you belong to me. So what the hell? So for people who are running around trying to bring in other aspects of abuse and trying to correlate that with SMEX, y'all are completely wrong. Because honestly, Mellow Man, I don't know if you're still here, but you threw in there, is withholding finances considered abuse? Yes, sir. Yeah,
we already had that discussion. Withholding finances is 100% abuse. 100%. Now, I will say this. Withholding finances for like food, shelter, retirement, things that you need, like even like I'm saying, like even retirement, whatever, stuff like that. Withholding finances to not because he don't want to buy you a Birkin, or he don't think that you need to get a brand new car, that's whatever. You can say that's a gray area. But yeah, I don't think that it's that. I don't, in general though, yeah, there's way more instances of where withholding finances, it would be considered abuse, and using finances to manipulate a person, which definitely is terrible. For once again, because men will use, I'm gonna mute you up, Joker, slide back on it. Men will use withholding finances. Men will use withholding finances as a way to gain access to your body and your labor. So they'll say, I want, basically they want a SMEX slave, right? Amongst other things, they want a slave in general. They want a wife slave, but like they'll say, okay, so for you to have shelter, food, water, whatever, you need to be my wife slave. And if you don't do that, and they won't say it, I'm just saying, like, it's implied for sure, like everything that they do, that if you don't do this, you know what I mean, the money's not coming, or whatever the case may be. That to me is abusive. Without a doubt, that's abuse. But her being like, yeah, I don't like the fact that you're not generous with your money. I don't like the fact that you make me ask you to do nice things for me. You make me ask you to be generous. I don't want to have to ask you all the time to be generous. I just want you to do it because you want to do it because it'll make me happy. And if you don't do that, I'm not going to give you access to my body. That's not abuse. It's like the way that these dudes are talking about it is the same way that they use the word misandry. Like they act like misandry exists on its own, but misandry only exists because of misogyny. The only reason why a woman is going to withhold her body from you is because you're abusing her. It's a response to abuse. And if you guys could tell me otherwise, if you could show me a time when it wouldn't be the case or whatever, then great. Right. And I'm saying rationally tell me when that would be the case. Then great. I'll listen to you. But thus far, none of these dudes, none of these women who have made the case have been able to articulate a time when it wasn't that, when it wasn't like some made up fictitious stuff in a vacuum. She's just withholding smacks from you just because, just to punish you, just to make you feel like. When does that happen? I don't understand. As if she doesn't want to have smacks. Like, it doesn't make any sense. She ain't gonna, you know what I mean? Like that shooting your nose to spite your face. Don't make no sense. Go ahead, BPG. Hey,
You know what? It's a big game, and we've said this probably 12 million times at this point, and I would prefer that it be stuck in people's heads like the McDonald's logo, like the McDonald's jingle. They want cellmates, not soulmates, because this is the name of the game. Entrapping women, because the same kind of men that say that withholding specs is a reason to cheat will also say that, you know, they want traditional women who stay at home with kids who don't work. But they'll also compare that to withholding money from her. And they know that is by definition a hostage situation. Like, you know that would be a hostile environment to be in a relationship with someone who you are dependent on for money. You're not dependent on that person and vice versa for smacks, but that person is dependent on you in order to be able to have food for themselves and their children, water, lights, gas, whatever, because you want it designed that way. And you found somebody that for whatever reason has agreed to those terms. And now what you will do is you'll say that her withholding smacks from you, which is supposed to be a part of y'all bargain, is equal to you withholding resources from her. And they know that it's a game and that it's a really musty game that doesn't actually work, because if they withhold money from her, she doesn't have an excuse to cheat. Mm-hmm. If the question was, first of all, the request box would be full to the brim if the question was, is it okay for a woman to cheat if her man is withholding money? Men would not, no way, that would not fly at all whatsoever. It wouldn't be okay. There's actually, I have yet to see a man who believes in those traditional values think that it's okay for a woman to cheat under any circumstances, because they can understand that that's a testament of her character and how it is she is. Like, and she may have a very valid reason. She may come and say that, you know, he's not been attentive to me. Every time I ask him for money, it's like, you know, it's like pulling teeth, or, you know, we haven't been on a date. He doesn't want to be intimate with me. Every time we go into a bedroom, it's wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and then he's gone. They would never accept that as a viable excuse for why it is she should cheat. But the viable excuse for them is quite literally, she just said no tonight, so I guess I just got to go find it somewhere else. No, you don't. You actually don't, because then you have to question what your character is. And I believe that is a character trait. Like, cheating, being a cheater, being a liar, being a manipulator, being an abuser, truthfully, all of that go together, because cheating requires that you intentionally withhold pertinent information in order to go do a thing. Like, in order for me to cheat on my husband, I have to lie about where I'm going, who I'm with, what I'm doing, why I'm there. Like, I have to go through so many hoops, and I have to continue that lie so that he never finds out. To me, that's a character flaw, because forget what it does to the person. Why are you willing to lie so deeply? Like, that part is weird to me.
There's all types of things.
Always be weird.
There's all types of things that go into cheating beyond, you know, like literally the act. You know what I mean? Like, but the act of it, there's a lot of things that lead up to that for sure. Hey, Joker, I'm gonna rotate y'all out. I got a lot of people in the queue. I appreciate you coming up. Thanks, Ivory. Thank you for coming up. Go ahead, Dante. Dante, you there? Oh, he might have accidentally requested up. Well, he muted though, so there's no way. There you go.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I figured out how to press the mute button here. I never actually went on live before. Actually, I tried to go on one of your lives months ago, but it was my disturbance, so I had to get off.
Oh, okay. You good? Yeah. What's good with it, man?
Yeah, I'm good now. I mean, do you hear me clearly now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you know, I've been in your posts. I actually watched a few of your lives, and actually in one of your posts, I always said I agreed at least about 85% of what you say. And in this post right here, I have to say, you know, that just to piggyback on what the lady was speaking about a few minutes ago, she's absolutely right. You know, being a person that's been cheated on a couple of times and trying to be the best man I can possibly be, you know, cheating is definitely not an excuse for doing anything. And guys that come up here saying crazy stuff like a woman owes them sex because they did X, Y, and Z, are just, it's crazy to me. Because we as men have to, like how you said the other day, and it struck me what you said yesterday when you was arguing with somebody, I forgot his name. We men have to stop lying to ourselves, you know, because a big reason why a lot of women do what they do is because we as men hurt them.
Yeah.
And, you know, I noticed, and I realized that over time, as I'm 43 years old, about to be 44, and the relationships that I've been in, and women that come to me, and women that's actually, you know, that cheated on me, I realized that they've come from a hurt place. And this whole thing about, you know, cheating on somebody because, you know, they're withholding SMEX is absolutely ridiculous, because we as men, the women tell us what we want.
What they want.
Tell us what we want and what we need. What we choose to do is ignore that or pretend like, you know, and just focus on what we need. And to me, you know, in order for a successful relationship to be a success, is we have to listen to our women, and we don't. And that's one of the biggest reasons why we have our problems today as a society. How you say systematically.
Bunny, you said that withholding SMEX is wrong.
It's complete. Well, first of all, hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. It's my first time on your panel. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
That's good. Hi, everybody else. It's absolutely wrong.
Mm-hmm. Elaborate.
I think saying no, not tonight, is different than withholding. Withholding means I'm keeping it away from you for a reason. I'm holding it hostage. It's definitely wrong. I don't think you should do that in a relationship.
Why not? Why not?
Well, this is the thing though too, right? When you get in a relationship, if this person that you with has a high drive, or they enjoy this, or this is something that you guys have always exchanged, when women normally withhold, they know it's because it's something that he wants.
Okay.
That's why they're withholding in the first place, as a punishment. We have to understand the word withholding means to hold it back. Not, hey, babe, I'm just not feeling it tonight. Withholding means I'm holding this from you for a reason.
Okay, but I'm trying to understand. Whenever you say no, it's for a reason. So what's the difference? Whenever a woman is not in the mood, then
if I'm saying no because I'm upset today, whatever the case may be, I don't think that's right.
Why not? Wait, why not? So you shouldn't. So you don't think that the man should make sure that you actually want him in that way? You don't think he should be living up to whatever expectations you have for him?
No, I completely agree. But this is the next thing. Is it okay that if he's upset at you that he doesn't pay the bills this month?
You think those two things are equal?
I completely think they're equal.
Which one?
This is the reason why. I expect something out of my spouse, right? I expect my spouse to provide, protect. I expect him to do this. Depending on the type of man, but my spouse, I'm going to say my spouse expects for me to give him that stress reliever. He expects for me to give him that one-on-one time. If that one-on-one time is us enjoying ourselves, because we should enjoy it together. I shouldn't want to do it, and I don't want to do it. Now, no, absolutely not. I'm sure he's not going to want no lazy smecks neither, because I just feel like it's my duty.
Yeah.
But I should enjoy this personal one-on-one time with my spouse as well.
So where's the but?
You said, where's the but?
Yeah, because you just said it right. You just summarized it. You said I shouldn't have to do it if I don't feel like doing it. So where's the but?
Yeah, if I don't feel like doing it, meaning we have two kids together, right? I just had my newborn. Now, if I fall asleep, that's one thing. That's one thing. But if I'm just like, I'm not feeling it today, there should never be a point where I'm not turned on to want to spend that time with my spouse. It shouldn't be. I'm just gonna personally say that. But if you're not into them like that, then maybe, unless I'm sick, unless there's a reason why I'm not able to do it, because I'm sick, let
me give you a scenario. So let's say your husband is just completely like, it's like, all right, yeah, he pays all the bills, who cares? Which I don't even want to get into the discussion that making sure that you have food, water, shelter, and those types of things is not the equivalent of him not having sex. Like, that's crazy. They're not the same thing. You could survive easily without sex. Sex is not, you don't need to have sex. You don't. You need to eat. You need a place to live. If you don't, you're put at a high risk of being unalived or getting sick and other things. You not having sex won't do anything. You can go to the bathroom and relieve yourself. You'll be fine. Your prostate doesn't know. Your prostate doesn't know if you're a man. If it was from a woman or from your hand, they don't know. Pamela, it's gonna feel it the same. So that's not true. Like, that's why that's a wild false equivalency that you just said, that you just tried to put out there. But so if your man is coming home and let's say he's physically abusive, is it okay for you to withhold?
That's what I'm saying. We're talking about the extreme. I shouldn't be in a relationship with somebody. That's why people in this
okay.
So
Hold on. We'll take it, Bunny. We'll take it back. What if he's not? What if he's not physically abusing you? What if he's neglecting you, which is abuse? What if he like never asks you how you're doing today? He never says anything nice to you. He never looks at you in your eye when you guys are having a conversation. He never has a conversation with you beyond SMEX or something that has to do with some service for him, like when are you cooking again or whatever. He comes home, he goes in the garage and plays video games and watches sports for 5 or 10 hours, and then he comes out and it's like, all right, let's have SMEX, and then he rolls over and goes to bed. You're saying that he because he's paying the bills, that's the least you can do for him?
No, I'm not saying that. This is the thing. Most of the time when a man provides for a woman and wants to take care of her and wants to put a smile on her face and is a good man, you don't have these problems. I'm just so confused. I should be turned on by him as well. You're not going to be turned on in those cases. When I see my man walk through the door after working 10 hours, I'm like, look, babe, what's going on? What do you need? I want to service my man because guess what? I'm also a stay-at-home mom now because I quit my job because I'm able to do something and work for myself. So my thing is this. If you're not turned on by him, then yes, that's a reason. I get that, but I'm so sorry for those people who feel like I need to withhold because I'm being treated so badly. Then you shouldn't be with him because this is another thing as well. If y'all are in a relationship and you got with a man who's like, babe, I enjoy having this one-on-one SMEX time with you, and then later on down the line, you get older and just say, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore. Just like I expect my man to stay fit, I expect my man to remain the same like he was when I got with him. He's going to be expecting the same thing with me. We're 7 years in this game, baby.
But Bunny, wait. I'm sorry. That doesn't make any sense biologically. You're going to go through menopause. You're not going to physically be on the same type of time. That's a wild expectation for a man to have of a woman, that she's going to remain exactly the same from that aspect, first and foremost. Secondly,
we're talking about health. I just said unless it's a health reason.
I mean, but I'm just saying, no, it's not. But what I'm saying is that the reality will still be the reality, whether it's caused by health or not. Secondly, you just confirmed that it's okay to withhold SMEX. You pivoted to, yeah, I feel sorry for those people. Okay, me too, but it's still okay because you just said it. It's okay because they're not attracted to that person, and you shouldn't be forced to have SMEX with a person if you're not attracted to them. It's okay if you're attracted to your husband. That's great. Everybody loves that for you. You're attracted to your husband. It's not a personal thing, right? So if you are like, yep, I love my husband and my husband is doing everything right for me, round of applause. We all love that for you. But if that's not the case, for the women that's not the case, right? And let's be clear, most men in general, but most men that are providing for their woman financially neglect the hell out of their women. Like that's not a foreign concept. That's very common, actually. Very, very common. So it's not like, oh man, I feel sorry. Usually if a man want to take care of you, he want to take care of you all around. He usually doesn't. That's a reason why a lot of men are beholden to this idea of being the provider so that they can financially abuse you and manipulate you with money. So you feel obligated to have sex with him at all times. So you feel obligated to, as soon as he walk in the door, drop to your knees, right? Because, oh, he's providing his money. And some women fall for that. Some women fall for that, right? Some women don't. Some women know that that's a...
I'm obligated to be a good woman because I have a good man, right? And I also grew up in a household where my dad provided. So I've never seen any issues with a man providing and trying to hold it over your head. So I'm not understanding that. And I'm talking...
So you don't know any man, Bunny. So you mean to tell me you don't know, you've never seen, you are a woman, you got more female friends than I got female friends. You telling me you ain't never seen a woman have a man and that man be neglectful?
No, I never said I never.
Then what are we talking about then? This isn't about you then, Bunny.
I never said that. I mean, we have to be realistic. I never said I've never seen it. What I'm saying is, when you're saying no, right? When you're saying that you don't want to give it to him, that because you're turned off. When a man is turned off as well, he also may say no because he don't want to have sex with you. What I'm saying is, if you have someone that you're with that's not neglectful and all the rest of this, because we cannot sit here and say the majority of men are this way, because the men that my sisters are married to and my friends are married to and I'm married to and my mom is married to, we don't have those issues. But like I said, and yes, someone said in the comment, I agree, pick better. Nobody just sits here and just put on a front. I've dated other men that I felt like didn't deserve for me to be their wife. I felt like there was other men that I... So
Bunny, hold on, Bunny. You got one husband. You got one husband.
I have one husband. Okay. And both my kids are by him.
I got you. I wasn't even going, but yeah, you got.
For the other person that asked me that in the chat.
Yeah, you got one husband. How many men have you dated before you dated your husband? Before you got with your husband? 5. You dated 5 men. So out of those 5 men, none of them they all were attentive. They all did all the things you wanted them to do. That's what you're saying?
No, that's what I said. See, honey, you didn't listen to what I said.
I heard it. No, trust me, Bunny.
I dated men who did not deserve for me to have.
Hold on, listen, Bunny. Hold on. Bunny, listen to what I'm asking you. You just said that we can't say most men because my sister's husbands are. I said, okay, now I'm using you as an example. You have one husband, but you dated 5 men. And I'm guessing that those 5 men were not your husband. So they weren't attentive. They weren't doing the things you wanted them to do. If any one of them was, then they would have been your husband. So to me, based on those numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 1. You got 5 that wasn't, 1 that was. Seems like the overwhelming majority aren't attentive, aren't doing the things you need them to do. So you're proving my point. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why you're saying otherwise. Like, what's the reason why? What's the need in lying about this now? Like, what's the need in saying that it's not the truth when you yourself would acknowledge that it's the truth based on your history? Based on your history, you can't say, because you just tried to make it about yourself. You said, well, I don't see it, but you did. You literally lived through it.
I'm just saying, just like there's men out here who always think that all women are bad women in America. You still have some. There's not. That's what I'm saying.
That's not what you said, Bunny. That's not what you said.
It's not everyone.
Nope, you didn't say it's not every. You said it's not the majority. And you yourself just said that you just proved to me that it actually is the overwhelming majority. 5 to 1, 5 to 1, or 4 to 1 even.
It also shows that evidently you can pick somebody who's not, that you're going to sit there and make your husband.
Okay, but that doesn't negate the fact that the majority of men are not attentive. The majority of men do not fulfill most of women's needs. We know that. That's what it's okay to admit that. It's not an all or it's not a sum zero game. I don't think all men are bad or all women are good. That's crazy. But do most men fall short? Yeah. You know it. I know it. What's the reason? What do you get out of not admitting that? That's what I'm trying to find out. What do you get by saying not all men when I just said most, and you yourself are a testament to not most men, to most men actually aren't the things that women need them to be. What do you get out of denying that? I don't understand it.
Oh gosh, okay. I'm not denying anything. And y'all can call me Picky Bay because I'm pig. Y'all miserable down there.
Bunny, I might read the comments, girl. It's just you and me.
Sorry, that's the first thing that popped
Yeah, forget the comments. The comments is gonna comment. You can read them later, but right now it's just you and me.
People be so miserable. I hate that for them. Yeah. So this is what, baby girl, check on your brother for me, baby. It's not the fact that I'm not admitting. Oh shoot, baby girl, get out your room and check on your brother. Everybody's sad. Anyways, so what I said was, it's not that I'm not admitting that there are bad men out there. It's not, but this is the same thing. If you're going to be withholding, you have to understand what may comes after that. At the end of the day, you still
which is what?
It's not right.
Which is what? What comes after that? What comes after that, Bunny? What comes after that?
Baby girl, check on your brother. What comes after what? If she's withholding?
Yeah, what comes after that?
I know, baby, but check on him right quick. You want me to do? How can I do that, baby girl? Okay, he all right then. Pick him up for me. Sorry, y'all.
You good?
I'm cleaning my bathroom, so.
Yeah, I can tell. Right, you chilling. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to take care of your kids, babe. My kid fine. He just want to use me as a pacifier. Anyways, no, it's not the fact that I'm not agreeing of the fact of, I'm sorry, what was your question?
So I was asking you what happens after she denies him Smets, because you said then you got to deal with what happens after. Okay, what happens after? Him cheating on her?
It depends on the reason why she's denying it. Like I said, if she denied it after a certain amount of time and he needs this is a need of his, right? Because to some men, this is a need for him. It doesn't matter. That's something that you're going to establish in the beginning. I understood 7 years ago that this is a need for my spouse. This is the way that he relieves his stress. This is the way that he shows that you know what I mean? He wants to.
Wait, how is that a need? Bunny, do you know what a need is?
A need for him,
but that's not a need.
Need might be something else.
But that's not a need, though. That's not a need.
It is a need for some men.
No, it's not a need for biological. Listen, Bunny, listen to what I'm saying. You typically needs are rooted in like biology, right? To a certain extent. So what I'm saying is like I said, when we're talking about bills, and I was saying if I don't pay the bill, then I can't eat or something like that. I need food. I need sustenance. If I don't get it, I will cease to live. Completely different. A need, that's a need. Sex is not a need. Let's be honest. It's not a need. I don't care what man lied to you or tried to tell you that. It's not a need. I promise you it's not. No, there's no doctor in the world that would classify it as a need. It doesn't make sense.
It's a need for me. I need it. So how about that?
You don't need it though.
So I can agree if it's a need for him. I need it. I want it. So it would be a need for both of us then, god dang it. And I'm okay with that because that's just the way it is. It is. It's a pleasurable need for me. I get that. It's a pleasurable need for him. I understand that. But if this is a way that we about to be taking care of each other's needs, then what's the problem of saying that that's a need for somebody? If someone's like, babe, this is a need for me, I like relieving stress this way. How am I gonna be upset this is the way he likes to relieve his stress? Like, we call it unnecessary issues in our relationship.
Where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line on a person saying something is a need? Like, what if he said he needed to sleep with 10 women this year?
Then if that was something he said he needed before, I would draw. He understand my issue, my boundaries of not cheating. I mean, if I'm cheating on.
Yeah, no, I'm saying he ain't cheating on you. He telling you up front. He like, I need to sleep with 10 women.
It's gonna work out for me. If you feel like you need somebody more than me, then guess what? I don't need to be in this relationship.
No, Bunny, what I'm asking you is if he said that to you, would you believe that was an actual need of his?
If he said that's a need of his, who am I to say, no, that's not a need for you? That makes no sense.
What?
If he said like this is a need for me, then how am I gonna be like, well, shoot, I'm sorry to say, hey, some people want to be in an open relationship and that's a need for them. Who am I to say that's not a need for you? You don't need this. I need to go, in my opinion, I need my self-care days. How fair is it for him to say, you don't need your self-care days?
But you really don't need them though.
I don't have to just be a mom all day every day.
I hear that, but you don't need them though. Like you'll survive without your self-care. I'm not saying they're not important. I think we're conflating two different things. I think you're conflating like what's it called? Like something that will make you really happy, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a strong desire. You're conflating that with a need. A strong desire isn't a need. Let's just be real. It's not. You can desire. I really do want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. Do I need to be a millionaire to survive? Some would say in my city, yes, but you know, that aside, no, I don't need to be a millionaire to survive or to even thrive, to have a great life, right? I don't need that stuff. But would it make my life that much better? Absolutely. No doubt about it. Will my kids have a better life? Absolutely. But I don't need to be a millionaire. So I'm not going to focus my energy on being a millionaire. I'm not going to unalive myself early. I'm not going to sacrifice any happiness so I could chase that dream. It's not worth it to me. You know what I'm saying? You saying you need Smex. You don't need it, but it is a strong desire. I agree. I love Smex too. My wife, we all like it, right? It's a fun time. But we have to add the caveat of with the right person and when they're treating you right and when you're attracted to them and when you like, there's all these other things that go into it because Smex is Smex is Smex if you don't have those things, right? At that point, like I said, you can go use your rose and I could use my hand. Because the same thing, it's gonna not your body don't know the difference. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Your body don't know much of a difference. All it knows is you don't get that. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So what are we talking about when we say that this is when you allow a man or a woman to manipulate you and tell you that this is a need so that you feel compelled or pressured to give in to them? That is coercion. That is not right. Like, I don't.
This is what I'm saying. Just because it's a need for him doesn't mean that you have to feel pressured. Nobody wants.
Of course you feel pressured, Bunny.
Nobody wants pressure top.
But you feel pressured if he tells you it's your. If he.
Do it like I'm just like, oh my God, this is a duty for me.
You're not gonna feel pressured if.
I don't need to wash the dishes in my house neither. Do I need to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I don't. I just go get paper plates after all the dishes get dirty. Like, come on, like. Because this is the problem for me, right? Because I'm seeing also people saying this, right? Oh, the definition. There's so many people that just stuck on, oh, but this is what this word means. We're so stuck on the way words mean. Like when they even talk about the word submissive, we're so stuck on, okay, well, this is the definition of that means you're I don't know everybody's religion too. My Bible also says once it's become my husband, my body is no longer mine. Why do y'all think it says that? So
because it was a book. I got an answer for that. It was a book written by men to subjugate women.
Oh my goodness, bro! I'm so sorry. This is terrible.
That's a cold reality, huh? When you realize it was a book written by men to subjugate women.
I forgot who I'm talking to, right?
I know. Well, hold on. No, let's not.
Smex, he needs release, and a man can do that inside the bathroom. My public said not too long
ago. Why would I want my man to have to release it himself? I also don't need my man to provide. I can go to work for myself.
You don't.
So true.
But you don't need. But wait.
This is what I'm saying though. But let you flip that and tell women like, oh, I don't need to provide for you. Then there's gonna be women out here like, yes, you do, because this is what a man's supposed to do.
Bunny.
You go against a man.
Where do you get that logic?
Yeah, I'm like, where are you getting that from? The vast majority of women work. 45% of women make the same amount of money or more money than their husbands. What are you talking about?
Okay.
70% of women in marriages work. Way higher than that in a relationship. This is marriage. So whatever numbers it is in a marriage is way higher in a relationship. I bet you like 85% of women work in a relationship. Like what?
It's not about them working. This is not what it's about working. If this man says it's not a need for me to pay majority of the bills, it's not a need for me to provide for you. Because guess what? I also hear majority of women say, I want my man to provide. I want my man to protect me. That's not, you might have to do that too, right? Because you don't need him to do this. You can do it yourself. Let that be the case and we flip it. He doesn't need to do this for you. Then that's when it's going to be an issue. And that's what I'm saying. It's so contradicting because if we're sitting here saying this is a man's need and a man wants to relieve himself like this, he's had a long, stressful day. He's worked 40 hours and that day in 2 days, whatever the case may be.
40 hours in 2 days?
I'm just saying. My spouse sometimes work 20 hours a day some days. So it depends on it. He likes getting to the
Who is he, Batman? The hell he doing for 20 hours in a work shift?
Hey, look. My spouse works. But you sure can, beautiful. You said you wanted to say something to me?
No, I wanted to say something in general. Well, no, there was something that you misquoted when scripture talks about spouses giving themselves to each other. The most important part of that text is that it said with consent. Like it says that within that text, that is with consent. So if it's not consenting, you ain't supposed to be doing it. But
I didn't say give it up to without. The first thing I said, and I didn't know I had to say verbatim, but the first thing I said, before it gets misconstrued, I definitely said no one even wants snacks for somebody who doesn't want to do it.
That's not true. That's not true.
You want snacks for someone who wants snacks when you're forcing it? I mean,
most men. Most men don't care if you want it or not, ma'am. Bunny.
We're in school still, so you have to be specific because small brains and IQs are around here on TikTok.
They got 5 on that head.
What I was saying.
Hold on, wait, real quick. Somebody. Oh, let me read this super chat. I got 2 super chats. I forgot to read this one a long time ago. Nicole said, "Tell me you never made a girl without telling me." That was for what's his name? The dude with the loose teeth, James Spirit. Jocelyn, appreciate the super chat. She said, "Bunny, maybe if you understand Westwood, the definitions of the words you're trying to use, you'd see why your wording is incorrect. If you understood Westwood, the show, I don't know."
Maybe. I don't know what that is, but okay. Say something that everybody knows before you try to say something first. Say something that I know first.
Yeah.
Because insults doesn't bother me, baby, because I'm blessed and happy and living good.
Yeah, I think Bunny. Oh, Webster. That's what they meant. Webster. My bad. I got you.
Oh, that's what they.
Yeah.
So yeah, before you try to say something, spell it right, and then yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, I just want to be clear. I think that a lot of people assume everybody doesn't like them and stuff like that, or everybody's hating on you, but it's not that. So, let's try to like.
Miserable people don't try to insult people, though. I mean, happy people don't try to insult people. That's why I'm not moved by the insults that everybody is saying, because happy, blessed people don't try to insult anybody, and I can care less, though.
I got you.
Like, I'm so in my soft girl era, in my happy era, and living beautifully.
I gotta let me read this. Let me read this Cash App. She said, you don't want to be a pacifier, but want to be a sex doll. Jesus Christ.
Baby, I love it here. I love it here. I love the submissiveness. I love fixing my man his plate first.
Can I finish? Because it's been a long, scary ride.
You sure can.
Okay. Yeah, because there was a lot that was said, and word meanings are everything. Comprehension, being able to articulate a point properly requires that words are being used in a way where the audience can get the context that they need in order to understand the point. That is a huge part of conversing with other people. So when we use words like he's using me to relieve himself,
that's a heavy one.
That's a big box to carry. I think the only other time that I've seen that box get carried is probably The Color Purple. I think that's the only time I've actually seen that, like, with my own eyes. But I think that that's the issue, because a lot of, and we said this earlier, a lot of these conversations that people have, they think that the context and the experience that they have is everybody's. Like when we talk to people who are traditionalists, they think that all women believe that men should have access to their bodies because of the fact that those men that they are with, those men usually aren't like the sole providers of the family. Because when you get down to it, they'll start to sort of creep into, well, yeah, I help out when I can. You helping out when you can, but he's a sole provider. Like, something fishy going on there. But a lot of times with these conversations, women who surround themselves with other like-minded women who are, traditionalist women, some on TikTok might call them pick-me's, it's neither here nor there, but they believe that all women have those ideas when those ideas are specific to women who are traditionalists, like women who have, I don't want to say a modern ideal, but women who believe that men should have full autonomy and that women should have full autonomy as well. They understand that a man's job is not for him to come home and be a slave for her any more than it is for her to be a slave for him. Because I don't know that I could be able to manage a relationship with somebody who's gone for 20 hours.
Hell no.
24 in a day.
Hey, if they gone for 20 hours, I'm leaving for 24. I'm out for the next 24, bro. They got 10 on their head, man.
That's not specific to your relationship, because that's a thing that does occur. Like it's not far-fetched to be with somebody that works long hours.
No,
but
it's not.
I think that the number in and of itself just always gets really like ludicrous.
It get crazier and crazier. People be talking about working 83 hours a week and shit. I'll be like, come on, man. What are y'all doing, bro? Like, in my worst, craziest work week, I think I might have worked like 50 something out, like in the 50s. I was like, oh, that was a crazy week. Y'all talking about, yeah, man, I was working 69 hours straight for 82 years. I'm like, every week? It's 52 weeks a year. You were doing that every week on week on week. Y'all some liars, bro. You're lying. Stop.
And they retired. Yeah, that's great.
They still working. They still working. I'm like, bro, my body done broke down. I was working doing car sales, and cars standing up on a lot in dress shoes and a dress shirt and button up with your shoes was off. You ain't got no insoles because you're young and thinking you're hot. You out here in your hot pants. You know what I'm saying? My lower back all tore up from walking around that lot for 10 years. That was just walking around a lot. You was telling me you was in a factory working 16 hours a day, every day, 6 days a week. I literally had dudes come up here and tell me that. I'm like, why y'all gotta lie? You're not him, bro. Like, that don't even make sense.
Claim that they're attentive with their families, because you cannot be attentive to a family if you work that many hours.
You can't.
And I have been in a position where I have had sporadically, not on a consistent basis, but sporadically, where I have worked 70 hours within a week.
God damn.
It's not hard to, and I'm gonna tell you why it's not hard to do, because remember the industry I'm in.
Yeah.
Like we can have days where we're on a set and it's really a 16-hour day, because you're thinking about packing up gear, getting it to set,
30 more for the drop,
using the gear, you know what I mean, all of that can take a long time, but it's not on a consistent basis. You may do that for a week or two, but then the next 2 weeks you're off, and then you'll do that for another week or two, and then the next 3 or 4 weeks you're like that part ain't far-fetched. But again, that for one, the money got to be worth it. Like,
it better be.
I'm able, if I work those 2 weeks like that, I guarantee you the next 3 or 4 weeks, there's no such thing as going back to work. Like, that's craziness. But I think that, again, the intent is revealed not only in the words, but in the actions. And I think that it's very hard to convince people that, for one, a man can use you as relief, and that's a healthy relationship. That's one. But also that he's gone all the time and that he's attentive within that relationship. That tells you everything you need to know about why a woman would get to the point of not wanting to have sex with that man, because they don't actually have a relationship. They are strangers crossing in the night, and apparently they bumping crotches into each other in that hallway, and that's quite literally about it. Like, that's it. The entire relationship.
Let me read this super chat real quick. Jocelyn said She was talking to you, Bunny. She said, I'm not insulting you. I'm just telling you the truth. Being dismissive or defensive is not helping your case in any way.
I'm not being dismissive or offensive. I'm not offended at all. I'm just saying my piece on it. Well, the thing is, I'm still a girl's girl. I don't have to agree with all the women. And then you got to keep in mind this too, right? I don't agree with women that's still out here trying to figure it out, right? Because I agree with the women that are married. I agree with the women that are happily married.
BPG is happily married.
I don't agree, huh?
BPG is happily married.
Okay, well that's fine. I agree with the women that I know that are truly happily married. We all can live a life on this thing that I know that are truly happily married, right? And I grew up in a household with both my parents.
25.
So there's a certain way that you move. There's a certain type of man that I was looking for and the caliber of man that I was looking for. The fact that I found him, yes, I'm willing to do what pleases him. He's willing to do what pleases me. And we've been in this since we were.
What does he do to please you, Bunny? Besides, what does he do to please you? I'm not talking about sexually, but what does he do to please you besides make money for y'all?
Whatever it is that I want to do. Whether it's, hey, babe, let's just go out. Hey, babe, here goes some money. Just go take care of yourself. Hey, babe, you've been working real hard. Won't you just call the cleaning lady so she can clean up the house? Hey, babe, I'm about to cook dinner for you. Hey, babe, I planned a trip for us. Let's just go on a 24-hour trip. Hey, babe, let's go on a weekend trip. Hey, babe, you've been doing a whole bunch. Let's go drop the kids off to your mom, because we're still in a different state than our parents.
Yeah.
Let's drop them off to your mom. Let's fly out there. Let's fly away for the weekend. It's just so much going on. And on top of that, the smacks is freaking amazing.
Yep.
So
95% of what you said revolves around money.
That was it. Hey, they clipped her, y'all. They paid to drop you, Bunny. Just FYI. And when the dropping come, I can't stop it. I got to drop. Go ahead, King Lo.
I got a question, because y'all did say it was hard for a person to work so many long hours and then come home and have to help around. But I can say from personal experience, that's false. Like, I seen my stepdad, he would get up and leave the house like around the time I was in high school at the time. So he'd leave at 6 o'clock in the morning, get home around 11 to like 10 to 11, and do the same thing over for the week, bro. And still come home, take the trash out if nobody got to it, do the dishes if they needed to be done. Sometimes he'd come home even earlier. Sometimes he'd come home around like 5, and he'd still help around in the house. That's what I never understood. Like, yeah, if you working hard, you can also help out. So I don't know. I don't get it, bro. Cause I know y'all, like, what y'all think y'all be saying, then all they focus on is making money and they don't help around in the house. But then when you have a person give y'all an example of that, y'all don't want to believe it.
Yo, we not talking to your stepfather. We talking to you. We don't know if that man was happy. So you telling us that he worked all those long hours and
that man was definitely happy, bro. I just seen him yesterday. He was happy.
Okay. Like I said, we don't know. So yeah, but we know, because I think the thing that you don't realize, King Loaf, is like, we are adults and we work. Like, I know you young in this shit, bro, but like, we've been working a long time and we know what that shit feel like. So what you describing is not, it typically doesn't lead to a happy lifestyle. It's very imbalanced.
That's the thing. I'm an adult as well.
I know. I didn't say you weren't. I just said you're really young. So when I was 23, with the ideas that I had of life and how work and all that, it was different than what they look like now in my 40s. What they look like in my 30s. It was different, bro. That's what I'm saying. You don't have kids.
All I know is, I shouldn't have kids right now.
No. I'm not saying it like as a knock on you. I'm saying you don't have kids. You don't know, like, I don't want to be away from my kids for 12 hours a day because I got kids, because I know I need to be there for them.
Now, see, that I understand, bro. But what I had to realize is,
hey, thanks for coming up, Dante.
Men have this problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first problem is they need to make sure they have the funds to get their family where they want them to be. So that's the right school, that's clothes on their back, food on the table, and make sure that they have it, right? All right, cool. And then the second problem is they need to make sure that they have time. So once you get your family in that position, and you have enough income to make sure you can keep it up, then cut back time from work so you can have more time with your family.
How do you, that doesn't even make sense. How do you do that?
Bro, that dude, I'm telling you, bro. Like, for example, right? Like I told you, my stepdad, he'd leave at 6 and he'd come home super late, right? Basically, by the time dinner was almost done or whatever. So what he did is, after a few years of that constant work, and we got to a certain like level where we was comfortable in life, bro, he completely cut back from the work. Like, he took different jobs, it was just different options in his life. That's what he did.
How long did it take him to be able?
To be honest, I don't know, probably like 3 years.
So he only had to work 3 years and then he could change. So he didn't even do it that long. What are you talking about, bro? This
No. This is from my personal, like, example. So to me, it seemed like it took like.
Bro, you don't be making no sense, bro. This is crazy. Bro, this don't even make no sense, man. You just saying stuff. This is wild. Like, what do you mean?
So you said he worked for 3 years to be able to not work again.
No, he was not to not work again, but to, like, look, King Loaf. This is what I'm saying. This is why I know you're not a fully formed adult yet. So if I worked for 3 years, right, and I was working 16 hours a day, and I was making $150,000 a year by working 16 hours a day, right, 12 hours a day, 12 hours a day, right, and I set up my life, meaning that means my home costs X amount of dollars, my mortgage is X amount of dollars, I got these amount of cars, we go on this amount of vacation. What job could I get, right, without getting an education? I'm saying, so nothing happened in between. The only thing is different is I started working less hours. How would I be able to maintain the same lifestyle by just cutting back my hours? Think about what you're saying.
There's side hustles. You can get
so he was still working.
Anything.
Wait.
No, bro. See, that's the thing. It's about what route you choose to go.
Bro, you're not, bro, I'm sorry. Loaf. Hold on, wait, Loaf. You're not Grant. You sound like Grant Cardone. You about to sell us on some, like, make your money work for you when you're not. Like, I don't care to hear that shit. We live in reality. It's not reality for the vast majority of people. It's baseless, and you're just making up stuff at this point. It's just hilarious. That's what I'm like. What are you talking about? 3 years? What do you mean?
For the most part of your life, right, when you had your child, what was the hours you was working?
40 hours a weekish. Well, I don't know. Let's say over the last 15 years, I've been working about 40 hours a week on average.
All right, 40 hours a week, 8 hours a day. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So did you feel the need to cut back that time so
yes.
you could spend more time with your family?
Yep.
And did you do it?
Not really. I couldn't. Because I couldn't. Because you have to work, you know what I mean? Like, you got to work the hours. But yeah, I definitely, for that whole time, I couldn't do it. I had to, well, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. I did 2 years ago, and I completely got out of the industry I was in. Completely. Now, there was a time when I first got in the industry when I was working 50 hours a week. I was working 40 plus, way more than 40 hours a week, closer to 50. But my baby was really, really, really young. I had just got married. You know what I'm saying? I was young. I was older than you, but I was young. I was still young, right? But once my babies got a certain age, and you know what I mean, and things like that, like I only did that for like 2.5 years. And then I got a new job where the hours went down a little bit, but I still was working 40 plus hours a week. I finally got to a place when I could work a little bit under 40 hours a week, right? But I was still hovering around that 40 hours a week. There was no way for me to significantly cut back my time. You saying your daddy was working 12, 13, 14, 15 hours a day, and then he changed his whole life, you know, and he started doing side hustles and all that. It doesn't make sense, bro. He was given it wasn't like the money just manifested itself. It wasn't like he just started making the same amount of money through osmosis. He was dedicating a lot of time. He just might not have been doing it on the job. It might have been more like at home. It might have been, you know, whatever the case, on his phone. It don't matter, but it was still labor. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not understanding what you're talking about. He still had to dedicate an exorbitant amount of time for him to fulfill his financial responsibilities and needs. That's all I'm saying. And I don't know why you're acting like us acknowledging that working that many hours a day for a sustained period of time is harmful and toxic. I don't know where your disagreement is. Why are you're just coming up here just to argue again? It's weird. You think that shit is healthy? You think that that's okay? Talking about, well, if you gotta get it,
you gonna go get it.
that's that dumb hustle culture shit that y'all be telling yourselves. But in reality,
is it something wrong with hustling?
If it's killing you, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know how expensive it is out here, right?
Yeah, I'm an adult. I know better than you.
All right, so if you know how expensive it is out here,
expensive.
You can take one person who single by themselves, right? From that one job. Most likely, if they're doing just 40 hours a week from that one job, let's say they didn't go the college route or they didn't hop into a trade, you're gonna have to work overtime just so you can pay your bills. Temporarily, yeah. I'm not unaliving myself. If I couldn't make the money that I made in sales, I would have definitely went to trade school or went and finished and got my degree. No two ways about it, bro. I would not. Before I'm working 60 hours a week, I'm going back to college. I'll work full time and go to college 5 hours a week and get my fucking degree and be done with that shit. And that'll be a temporary time in my life. I am not working 60 plus hours a week for 15, 20 years. That's brother, that's crazy. To me, people could say it's not. Y'all can tell me whatever it is. I'm not doing that. I'm talking about me personally. I'm not doing that. If somebody else wants to do it, then that's on them. But you talking about this, if you got to get it, you would do it. I would ask the government for assistance before I did that shit, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not doing that shit. I'm getting on Section 8. If the decision is between me working 16 hours a week and not being on Section 8, or me working 8 hours a week and me being on Section 8, I'm working 8 hours a week and I'm taking Section 8, or I'm getting on government assistance. I don't know what the hell you on. I don't know if that's some bullshit pride or some ego or something like that. You can have it. You can have that shit. None of that, bro. I got the mindset of work hard in your 20s so you can work hard in your 20s and you can relax in your 30s just a little bit more, and then pretty much in your 40s, like you good.
You're not making sense. That's not how it works.
I literally vet people in the industry that I was in who told me they've done that.
What industry?
All right, I was a cashier, right? They were selling products in bulk to restaurant owners, and the people that I ran across, they would literally tell me, "Yo, work hard in your 20s, and you will be chilling." All they was doing is picking up food for their restaurants.
Yeah, this sounds like Grant Cardone.
It's not, bro. But
can I say something? I'm about to drop.
All right, BPG.
Oh Lord Jesus. Public has implied, and you just implied that you are very young. I don't mean to break the news to you, but them people that's telling you that you can get wealthy off them knives are supposed to tell you that. They're supposed to lead you to believe that you can spend your 20s becoming financially free if you should just so happen to go and knock on a few doors and go to a few restaurants and sell the best knife you've ever seen or ever used in your life. That is the whole entire point, because it's a game, and that does not happen. There is too many. And if you notice, all of the older people that you notice the faces that are being made, it is because of the fact that when you're young enough, you do believe that could work, because nothing in your mind believes that anything will go wrong with that plan. It doesn't accommodate for people unaliving. It doesn't account for if you suddenly lose that job, or if you get hurt, or if you have to pay for sudden expenses. Like, it quite literally sells you on the dream that all you got to do is, and anytime somebody say, nah, I'm not as old as public, but anytime, and I know this from being young.
The shade be, it be shady in here sometimes. I ain't gonna hold y'all.
I know this from when I was younger, that anytime somebody told me all you got to do is, I already know it's a scam. I already know what time it is. Now I know that, at least. But at that time, that sounded like a sweet deal to me. I worked through my 20s, and then in my 30s, I can be comfortable. And by 40, I'm retiring. That's everybody's goal. That doesn't happen for a reason. The system is designed quite literally to chew you up and spit you out. And that's why even men, like you described with your stepfather, they are working, what the lady say, 20 hours a day? They are working 20 hours a day. They are working for plants that's paying them well. These plant jobs pull people in. You get a 16-hour shift for 4 or 5 days out the week. They paying you $35 an hour. It looks like a sweet deal until your body starts to give out. Mm-hmm. Until you run into one circumstance where now you have developed your lifestyle around, I make 6 figures. So guess what? I need a 6-figure house, and I need a 6-figure
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying,
literally.
BPG. When he was like, oh, and then he stopped doing it. I'm like, if you was making $150,000 and you bought an $800,000 house with a $6,500 a month mortgage, what are he gonna do? He trapped. He's trapped. There's nothing he can do. He's trapped. What are you talking about? You think we're dumb? You think we don't know how money works, bro? Like, come on, bro.
And the sad reality of it is that men get looped into this idea, and they do. The sad part is, like I said with the other lady, they get roped into this. They buy houses, cars, trips, and expenses, and create bills around that lifestyle with that very temporary job that they don't realize is temporary. And then they marry people who have that same mindset. And when they look up, they've worked 15, 20 years at some place that the 401k plan is shaky, and the pensions start to disappear because the city starts dispersing them every which way they want to. And now they don't have a leg to stand on. But the other part is they don't have a family waiting on them, because you can't build a bond with kids that you don't see for 16 hours a day, 5 days out the week. It's not possible, especially if you still come home. You said the man was coming home and he was still cooking and cleaning and doing all kinds of stuff. He has not had 1 hour to be with a child in order to nurture them in a way where you build a healthy relationship.
What the hell was your mama doing? If that man was working 16 hours a day and he was coming home still cooking and cleaning.
Nothing. She worked.
The same thing.
Yeah, listen. She worked from home, right?
God,
and
Lord help us.
It wasn't no long shifts. Government job. She has it good. Like, what are y'all talking about?
You just said she was doing the same.
Bro, what was the government job? What was the government job that she had?
I gotta get a little confused, but she basically looks over everything that we be eating, all of that.
So for the FDA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She works for the FDA?
Pretty much it.
Don't help him out.
Sorry.
TBA, don't do that. He didn't know.
Good evening, everybody.
Nah, that's what it is, bro. I told you, I'm getting a little confused. I don't stand
Getting me confused.
job like that.
All right, man. Damn, Loaf. You just be saying stuff, man. That's crazy, bro.
So question. You said you were good at sales, right? And I know from a personal example, because I have seen these dudes in sales. I know if you good at sales and you bring in X amount of sales for your commission or whatever, you're good, right?
No.
You don't have to, bro. I'm telling you, you do not have to really go back.
I'm telling you, I wasn't in it, sir. I wasn't in an MLM. I wasn't in I wasn't doing a Ponzi scheme. I sold cars. You got to keep selling cars. It never stops. You got to do, and not only do you got to do it every single month. Like for 12 years, I was like, every month was like its own, was like a new adventure every single month, because it was based on them. It was month blocks, right? You know what I'm saying?
Was looking good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because you were a good salesman, bro.
But I never got to stop, is what I'm telling you. There was at no point in time was it like, I ain't got to do nothing. I'm on cruise control. Every month I had to go in there and fight and call people and schlep down a hot lot and open up cars and pull cars out and do it. I still had to do the work, brother. There was no, what are you talking about? I got better at it. It became easier. Yeah.
Oh no, bro. I think like car salesman, that's damn, that's like a, I can't even say it, bro. I can't even say it. Cause I was talking to a insurance salesman, right? He's showing me like the basics and shit.
Mm.
And then he was like comparing it to different types of sales jobs.
Mm.
I don't know how y'all do it, bro. I don't know how y'all do it.
I sold insurance for a year for New York Life. What do you want? What are you talking about?
Hey, was the money better than car sales?
No, that's why I only did it for a year.
Damn, bro. Shit, nigga. Hey, man.
Yeah. You letting all these dudes sell you on this fast money shit, brother. Go to school. You young. I'm gonna tell you what I would have told myself. Take your ass to school, get a degree, and get you a fucking regular job. Be a teacher, make $80,000 a year. You'll be perfectly okay. You'll live a happy life. Get you a pension out of 401k if you can. Okay.
Bro, that's what I'm doing now.
Okay, do that then. Cause all these shit you scaring me with all of this, like talk like, nah, bro. Ain't no you.
It's a pitch, baby. It was meant to be that. It was meant to feel that way because of the fact that it's a pitch. I promise you. There's no like the advice is not coming from people who don't know this already. Like there was never going to be, and I'll use myself as an example. There was never going to be enough African black soap that I could sell. Perfumes, powders, nothing.
Makeup
that would give me financial freedom. Like these are all the same sales pitches across the board. Go to Indeed, go to Glassdoor, go to any of these places and look at commission-based jobs, and I promise you the wording will be the same every single time. Do you want financial freedom? Do you want to pick your own hours? Do you want to be able to have access to money like you've never seen before? That's always supposed to be the pitch because it's supposed to sound good all the time. But what they don't tell you is like Public said, you have to keep that up consistently. Because the moment you stop, the money does too. There is zero security in that. You have to be able to hold that up. And the unfortunate part is that I said this before as well. The reason why you usually don't see a whole lot of grandpas and granddaddies in the hood ain't just because people don't know how to pick right. A lot of them unalive well before their time because of the fact that they are working themselves into the ground. Like that is why. That's why. And it's great to have life insurance and to be able to build financial wealth and blah, blah, blah. But there are a whole lot of boys and men who could have benefited from being able to get the experience from their grandpas and dads if the dad had literally just survived the job. But he didn't. Yeah. So now you have a bunch of men that's quite literally thinking that their lives can survive off of vector knives. It's not a thing.
Yeah, we got I'm gonna get back on topic, but that shit is crazy right there. I ain't gonna do it.
All right, how do y'all feel about trade jobs?
What'd you say, V? Hold on, is this V? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's V. I was trying to wait patient. That's one of my problems. I talk too much. I had my mic muted because I talk too much. So I said, let me just have it muted so I don't interrupt.
Go ahead. We listening.
Now, before you go back to the topic, I was going to ask, how do y'all feel about trade jobs, which are very important, and trade schools?
Get a trade, get a degree. I don't care, but get something, get something that's tangible and do it as opposed to trying to get this fast money, because sales is good money and it is fast money to a certain extent. But there's a lot of industries that be selling a lot of pipe dreams to people, and they get desperate people who are, you know, fatigued from capitalism, and they get you to buy into this idea that you could be, you know, you could have this financial freedom, and all you got to do, you know, we'll provide you with X, Y, and Z, and it's not what you think it is. You know what I'm saying? So
Would you say
that's all
do
I'm
that
saying.
if they were able to make it their side hustle, but don't let that be your main hustle, or don't do it at
Yeah,
all?
if you want to have a side hustle, then so be it. But like, there's like I said, like selling cars is a real, like, that's a day in, day out job. Like, that's just a regular, you punch the clock. It's a 9 to 5 job. You know what I'm saying? They guarantee leads. You know, you ain't got to go out and find it. You literally go into a building. There's going to be opportunities there. You don't got to worry about it. It is a skill. You have to, you know, you got to have a skill and so on and so forth. But but like selling insurance is not that. Selling insurance is not, you know, it's not, I mean, it's different than like if you worked like for Farmers Insurance at the call center and you're selling policies over the phone. That's different. People are going to call in, they're going to inquire about the policies, and you just got to sell them the policies. That's different, right? But if you are a farmer's agent and you're supposed to go out and go prospect and get your own leads and get your own, like, that is a completely different monster. That's not the same thing. They're not the same types of jobs. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of
It's
younger
more of a
people,
career almost.
yeah, they get y'all. We show up to these conventions, or you see somebody making money off of something, or what you perceive is making money. They got a nicer car than you. They look cleaner than you. They got a suit on, and then you go, "Oh, I want to live that lifestyle."
Right. Like they put on a facade.
Yeah. Hey, V, I don't know. I think you're really low. I got my mic turned all the way up, but they can't hear you. Just
Let me turn it
FYI.
up some more. My bad. Hold up. I caught
Yeah.
myself trying to multitask.
No, you
Cooking. I
good.
seen you was on. I said I ain't never been on this channel before, so I said I'm gonna hop on and see what's good. Let me turn it up.
Move the mic closer to that.
No, it's not the mic. It's her. It's. Oh, you might her. Yeah, she might have to move the mic closer. I can't move my mic. It'll make a
Is
bunch
this
of noise.
better?
I definitely agree though. Like trades is a great source. I'm trying to get into plumbing right now. Plumbing and college, actually.
Yeah.
Is this better?
Yeah, that's great. We can hear you.
Awesome.
Okay. So what did you want to say, V?
All right, now are we talking? We going back to the topic that you had put on originally?
Yeah. So the topic that I know you guys can't see it on YouTube, but it says, "Men, is it okay to cheat if your woman is withholding smacks?" And the follow up is, if a woman withholds it, is that abuse?
I think they both go hand in hand because we as a people we're all different and require different things. But to just go ahead and cheat without there being a conversation had, because there may be underlying things. Women have certain health issues that affect you wanting to have intercourse with your partner. It may hurt. So many other underlying things other than she just being a prude. So I think that conversation needs to be had first, and then if you have the conversation and realize, okay, there's no ailments, there's no deeper, mental health issue, whatever the case may be, and she's just not doing it, then you should just separate, and then go and take care, then go about your business. You know what I mean? I feel like at this age, we too grown to be cheating on people for what?
So it's a no then.
Yeah. Long story short. I don't think it's okay, but I do think the conversation needs to be had, and you got the right to have that conversation and say like, "What's good?" Because that is a big part in relationships. I don't care what nobody says, unless it's two asexual people that don't really care about it. You know what I mean? Or you're just old. But if you don't have no ailments and there's not underlying things going on, and you had the conversation, and that is something that is important to you and is bothering you, then you gotta do what you gotta do. Everybody has the right to be happy, but you don't need to be sneaky and do a bunch of extra stuff that can cause bigger issues,
Yeah.
And then as far as it being abuse from the woman's side, it can be because, women know what's up. So it could be like, oh, you don't want to get me that bag. Okay, well then we're not doing this. Oh, you don't want to do this. Okay, well then I'm not. And it's just childish. I don't know if I would say abuse. It's very childish.
Yeah, at the most, it's childish. It's not abusive. Are you washing dishes right now?
I'm multitasking. I'm sorry. Is this gonna be an issue? I understand if it do, I gotta take care of my business while I'm trying to talk.
Yeah, go do your stuff. It's a lot of background noise, and a lot of us get overwhelmed with the noises. But yeah,
I ain't trying to overwhelm nobody. Y'all took care of y'all business first. Y'all did the right thing. Y'all have a good night.
All right, V. Appreciate you. Hey man, go ahead, Allie, and then Nikita. Oh, Allie in the whip. What up, Nikita?
What's up, Bubs? How are you?
Great.
Whew, this one made me want to take a nap. I don't understand why it's just not. It's never okay to cheat. There is no reason to ever cheat. It's just no. And it doesn't matter if she, and I don't believe in withholding sex either, because if I don't want to, then I'm not doing it, regardless of what the reason is. And then as far as it being abuse, no, it's not. And then I kind of wanted to, share, a little bit more about my personal situation. But what I'm not going to do is make my personal situation everybody else's story, because we're all different. But I have a high sex drive, and I have a husband that doesn't. So for me, when he would say, "Nah, babe, I'm not in the mood. Nah, I'm tired," things like that. One, I didn't take it personal. I knew he was, sexually attracted to me. It's just that I had to look more into the no, and it wasn't, blaming him or making him feel like, it's an issue. It was things that I was noticing. He was tired all the time. He was, his body language, like it was a bunch of things that I was noticing about him. And the first thing that came to my mind was, it was really his health. He's a smoker, which I helped him to, work on quitting. It was the fact that he's a truck driver. And like you said, he works long hours, 10 hours a day. He does get to come home every night, thank God, but 10 hours a day. He wasn't drinking enough water. So it was so many different things that was happening with his body that he just didn't have the desire. So, we talked about it, and then, I got him drinking water, got him going to the doctors, because that's one of the things that he never really did before he met me, which I think that's an issue for a lot of men in general. So instead of taking it personal and looking at it as abuse or him withholding, it was more to it than it just being about me and what I wanted. Not even my need, but what I wanted. And then once he started, getting healthier and taking better care of himself, his sex drive went up.
Yeah, who would have thought?
He started doing it more often. So, I think the issue is folks make everything about them and what they perceive their needs are. It's about your partner too, and what's happening with your partner. Not so much just for the smacks. My concern is, look, I done got my unicorn. I need you to stick around for a while, so we can worry about that other stuff later. Just work on, getting you healthy, and getting you to a point where you're taking care of yourself. That was more important for me, in general. Then the other thing that I've noticed with a lot of men, being a life coach and relationship coach, I talk to my clients about all different types of things. And one of the things that I saw common in men is that they have sex really early. And when they do that, it's looked at as, oh my goodness, that felt great. Now there's something that I need, because I need to have that feeling, right?
Yeah.
So I think what a lot of men need to do, and I'm the one that really hate telling men what they need to do. However, I think that they would look at sex less as a need if they worked on their flesh, working on controlling your flesh. If you can control your flesh, then if your partner says, no, I'm not in the mood tonight, or whatever the reason is, it won't matter. You're going to hop over on the other side of the bed, go to sleep, and wait until she's ready. And, I say that again, I'm going to go back to my personal. With my husband, he is a man that can control his flesh. He's one of those men that can hook me up, if you know what I mean, and roll over and go to sleep. He can give me a massage and not get a erection. He can, it's not just about him desiring me, sexually. It's about, like you guys talked about before, the intimacy. Him wanting to be near me, him wanting to talk to me, listen to me. Like, we can lay in bed, for hours and just talk about everything, life, what I like, what he likes, what we don't like, you know, and we do communicate on a regular basis. So that kind of helps keep our relationship, you know, healthy and good. So when that other young lady was kind of boasting about how she had such great men and I'm good and all of these things, that's great, love. We're all happy that you found your unicorn, but that's not everybody's story. So don't apply your situation to all women. Because me personally, you asked her, how many partners have you had or how many men have you had in your life? And most of us can attest to, even if we have a good man now, that the men that we were with weren't ish.
Yeah.
They were terrible. So now that you get a good one, it's I'm good. You know, y'all need to pick better.
Yeah.
No,
that's a wild thing.
All these frogs before you were able to get your unicorn, right?
You have to kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince. And I don't like the fact that they be trying to be like, no, most men are princes. And I'm like, but if they were, then why didn't you choose any one of those other princes before? Because obviously they weren't.
Exactly. And the fact that she thinks that it's okay that I give my husband my body because that's what he needs, she needs therapy. I give my husband my body because I desire him too, not just him desiring me and wanting me. That's not how that works. Because if I have a headache or whatever the case may be, you know, my husband understands that, but of course I'm gonna try to make sure that he's getting what he wants, because like you said, it's really not a need, because if I tell him no, he knows how to turn over and go to sleep, right? And not go out and cheat on me, you know, let's knock on some wood.
That's a good man,
Savannah. Not go out and cheat on me because I said no for whatever reason. And he doesn't even have to ask. It's just, okay, babe, kisses, love you. Yeah. We cuddle. Eventually we end up on opposite sides of the bed. So no, the toxic part is believing that as a woman, you're withholding something from something that someone's not entitled to. That's the problem.
That's facts. Allie, are you there? Or because I tried to hit you up earlier.
I'm here.
Okay. Kay, what's good with it? Are you there?
I'm here.
Kay, what's good with it?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you got a crazy echo. The echo crazy. What up, Kay?
Not much. How y'all doing?
You doing good? Hey, Nikita, I appreciate you coming up. I got a couple people in the queue. I'm about to rotate. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, Kay.
I just came up here because did that 304 try to say that BPG marriage wasn't happy?
A little bit. Well, she was
shading her.
She was. Well, she said when I said, "Well, she's like, I only listen to women who are in happy marriages," and then I was like, "Well, BPG's in happily married," and then she said. Then she just tried to pivot and was like, "Oh well, the women I know in my life, I gotta know them personally, and they're truly happy." That's what she said. And they're truly happy, and I was like,
"Why she gotta be home?
This nigga, bro."
Come on, I said what I said, sir, and you can go back on mute. But anyways, I came up here to say that with this journey of my partner unpacking his misogyny and me unpacking my internalized misogyny, and as a reformed or former pick-me, we took physical intimacy off the table. Now I know what y'all finna say. Y'all got a whole baby. Okay, anyways, that's neither here nor there. Listen, so the evidence is it happened at least one time, right? But we took it off the table because I really wanted to be in a partnership where I wasn't just viewed as a piece of me, right? Like where I was super objectified, because I realized that my relationships in the past were really super duper physical. Like I can't really tell you any deep, thoughtful, thought-provoking things about any of my past partners.
Y'all was just hunching.
Yeah, we was hunching. We was down bad hunching, okay? But I made it a point that when
we were talking marriage and we were talking going the distance, that I said, okay, I have to treat this differently than I've treated everything else, right? So, confession, we hadn't been intimate since I conceived my son. So that was, last April. I thought I was pregnant. Yeah, but anyway, so now I can move forward knowing that now I've spent a significant amount of time just getting to know this man and focusing on him and him learning me and him learning what makes me tick and us focusing in on each other outside of the physical. And I'm just going to say, I'm about to throw this thing on that man. Real bad.
Hey, hold on. Hey, Phil said,
Listen, hey. But you know what? And people in the comments are saying, wow. But Phil, have you ever felt like you significantly struggled with us not being intimate?
How should I answer this? Okay, so you
yes or no, Phil?
Yes or no, dude?
Wait, no, ask the question again.
Have you struggled? Have you found a struggle in this past year with us not being intimate?
No.
Because he put what I needed first. Like he put me first, saying that I want to wait. These are the things I want to focus on, and this is a priority for me because I don't want to just treat him like a good time.
Because I'm here for a long time, cuz.
Not a good time, but a long time. All right, y'all. So next step.
I'm here for both. I ain't gonna hold you. I'll be trying to I want to have a good time the whole time. How about that?
So next step, part of that was we went last year. We went and got our white man paperwork, but we never got it signed. So today, y'all, we went and got our white man paperwork, and we got it signed, and we exchanged vows.
Oh, there you go.
And now we finna hunch. We just finna hunch. Okay.
Get off the line. Get off the live. Get off the live. Go hunch.
So I'm just telling y'all, like, he really stuck it out. He didn't pressure me. There was no, like, probably we just had a live about this the other day about how men will try to coerce and try to pull it out of you, and you feel guilty, you feel bad. Phil never made me feel like that. And even when I was pregnant, like,
he stuck it out so he could stick it in.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and he really took care. Like, this is why I married this man today, and I surprised him. He didn't know. But it was because not only did he stick it out, but he was patient. He didn't push. He respected my boundaries. Like, there were a lot of things that I had to process, trauma, things of that nature. And we got to hear where it's like when he touches me, I don't clench up because you know what I'm saying? Like, I was there. Like, even with therapy, I was like, because I had been SA'd before. So there were a lot of things I had to unpack, but my man stuck it out, and now I'm gonna let him stick it in.
There you go.
Here in front of the bike.
Front of the bike. Hey, one time, man. One time.
But yeah, y'all. So yeah, I's married now. Talk to me nice, baby. I's officially married. We got with that old paperwork is gone, but we got this new paperwork. And my cousin married us because she works at the courthouse, so she married us.
Oh, that's dope.
It was dope.
I love that, man.
We went and had tacos afterwards. It was lit.
Man, I like that type of shit.
Congratulations. And I just want to publicly thank Public for sticking it out with me and like encouraging me to put my own shit in check and be patient with Phil and give him room to grow because he was trying. He was putting in the effort. And I was just like, okay, he ain't doing it fast enough. But the fact that he was actively doing it and actively working every day, happy endings.
Shit, he did it. He did it faster than me. He doing it in a year. That shit took me. I don't even want to hold y'all. That shit is embarrassing. That shit took me years.
It's literally around the time we started like listening at you, and it took him a while to even come around to listening to you when I was seeing him the lives and stuff like that. And he ain't break up with me like that other lame dude did, old girl.
Oh, there's a few of those, Kay. There's a few of those stories.
I know. But he stuck. He even in that, and he started opening up his mind and different TikToks I was seeing him.
he started understanding like, damn, it ain't about me. It ain't about just my desires. It's about my partner. It's about what she wants. It's about her comfort. And he put that first.
Look at TikTok, man.
Yeah.
I like TikTok sometimes. It be really, you know.
The live is shrink a lot. Put me down for the mac and cheese.
Yeah, y'all down there. Oh no, you in Georgia though, Allie. But y'all close enough. Y'all going to have a little. Somebody said have a TikTok reception. I don't know what that looked like, but I'm down for it though. We could do that.
TikTok reception. Yeah, we had tacos and stuff earlier. It was so cute, and we was both giggling the whole time, y'all. Our little video is so funny because we was giggling the whole time.
That's good. Y'all feed each other burrito tacos and shit. I love it. Hey man, hey, I love that for y'all. Congratulations, Phil. Congratulations to the family, man. To them babies too. I know that's a good thing right there.
And we met on TikTok because public say this ain't no dating app, but we met on TikTok.
I don't care how many. It ain't a dating app. You just got lucky. You know what I'm gonna tell you? I'm gonna tell y'all something. Dating apps ain't dating apps. That's the thing. That's what y'all. That's where y'all go wrong right there. Dating apps ain't dating apps. That's the first thing you got to realize. If anything is a dating app, it would be closer to a TikTok or a Facebook or Instagram or something like that. The dating apps ain't dating apps, let alone TikTok, though. Like, TikTok is not a dating app. TikTok is a place for people to talk shit. And sometimes you meet somebody that can tolerate the shit you be talking. And that's how I look at it. It's like, oh, damn. And then you meet them in real life. And it's like, oh, damn, they was cooler than I thought. Might end up being cool people. You just got lucky. But for every 1K story, I ain't going to say people's names, but there's 10,000 of them other people's stories. Heartbreaker, you know, stuff like that. There's a bunch of those nightmares, right, on this app. That's what I'm saying. So we're going to err on the side of caution. I'm going to say TikTok ain't a dating app, but y'all just dope individually. So it ended up working out. And y'all was going to find, you know, I mean, you know, if you believe in fate type shit, which I don't, but I'm going to play the role right now. Y'all was going to find each other anyway. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? And y'all, or if you wasn't going to find each other, you was going to find somebody like that person because y'all was looking for them for that type of person. And that's dope. I love that. And, you know, it's all love for me. You already know I'm rooting for you, and I'm always going to root for y'all every day and all day, man. I want to hug Phil right now. I want to hug both of y'all, but I want to hug Phil too. I like that guy.
Give you a virtual hug. Public gives you a virtual hug,
Phil. Oh man. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for sharing that with us, Kay. I'm on that note, I ain't gonna even hold y'all. I feel like that's a good time to end the live. Y'all drop some gifts on Kay. Bang the Cash App one time too. Cause apparently my live is where the love happens. I ain't gonna even hold y'all. A lot of people, I've been in a lot of lives. I ain't never heard nobody in them lives talking about people coming together and really working through their shit. Not just about meeting each other and hunching, you know what I'm saying? But about, you know, coming together and growing up to be healthy and shit like that. So I love it. I really do. I think it's a great feeling. Oh shit, I got people on the YouTubes. I was in the queue. Hey, go ahead, Anthony. Go and get your rocks off, brother. I'm about to end this. I appreciate everybody that came up on the panel. Y'all know my battery done ran out. I ain't gonna even hold you. Go ahead, Ant, if you there, brother.
All right. You're about to end it, so I'll make it quick. So my answer to the question of, you know, what I consider, you know, women withholding sex abuse, the answer is most definitely no. I don't consider that abuse. Because you won't die without sex.
At all.
Right. It's not like a need like water or food is. And there are ways to satisfy yourself without necessarily needing to intrude on a woman's space, on a woman's time or her body. So that's what I had to say. And I'm going to go ahead and jump off. Take care.
All right. And I believe it. I agree with it. I agree with that 100%. I knew he was going to come with the right talk. Allie, my fault. I thought you had already talked. I forgot because you was up here for so long. My bad. We're going to have a decompression live right after this, though, so don't worry. She could talk. Nero Spicy, thank you for your time you devoted to opening men's eyes, whether they like it or not. Yeah, I appreciate that. We ain't here trying. Oh man. I slept a lot last night too, but I think it was a lot. Yeah, same account. We're gonna be back in here for all my subs. Y'all can come back up in the decompression live. Yesterday I actually forgot I was gonna run it, and then I took a break. I went downstairs and I started talking to my wife, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I need to go charge up my car." So I went to go take the car to go get charged, and fucking I forgot, completely forgot. Then I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot." I had to hit everybody up. Yeah, that was my bad, my fault. What's up, Tanaja?
Hey, I just had to tell you that I have a new song that I really, really want you to hear. And also, I was trying to show you how to do them, add them stickers in the chat, because it's something like if you click the star for the stickers, it has it as a request on there for you.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
But yeah, I don't know how to send it to you because it's only coming through, the song only coming through on like Google Docs, so you'll have to log into your Gmail if you have that, so you can.
Yeah, just send it. Yeah, just copy and paste it. I can do it. I got it. I got the app.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, that's all I want to say.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Man, that was a deep one. So I figured it out. Hey, man. What's good, Alexander? Appreciate the super chat, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all rocking with me on the YouTubes, man. Shout out to everybody that that gave the super chat, everybody that banged the Cash App, all the likes. Like and subscribe, please, if you haven't already. We'll be back tomorrow. We got the video circulating over there. I appreciate all the support, man. I think I might